Welcome everybody to today's stream. Hope you had a nice day so far. Welcome, Banish. Welcome, good evening. We'll be there in a second. So here I am, welcome. I'm ready for some fractal gaming. As always, I hope we have a relaxing stream. I try to answer all the questions and maybe have some nice discussions. I think a lot of people wanted to discuss some stuff with me. Let's wait until they show up. And yeah, if you have any questions, especially if you're a new player, please let me know. Other than that, I will just do my usual routine in Guild Wars and have some fun. So when I do fractals and I'm playing DPS, typically I start out with CMs, and therefore I will start with the condition DPS for the ranged advantage and stuff. So Condi Harbinger is, in my opinion, a very good choice here. And as soon as we get to the easier or more power favored bosses and stuff, I swap to Power Word. As soon as it will get nerfed with the next balance patch, I might fear that I can't run that anymore that much, because it's just not the best option then anymore. So I try to use it as long as I can. And we had some updates actually in the gem store. And if you don't have the silver fed, the rune crafters or the copper fed, they are on sale, 20% off. It's quite a decent sale. There are almost no times where they are cheaper. So if you need them, because you don't have them, it's really, really good. So you should try to get it, as well as the build templates. Probably, like I put it in my gem store video, build templates not that nice, not that important. But 40% off if you really need them, that's quite cheap. And 20% of the equipment templates, that's also quite cheap. So I can recommend these 5 things. They are really cheap right now. So if you need any one of those, now is the time to purchase them. Of course, that's a very big if. Either you buy the gems with real money, or you already have the gems. If you don't have the gems already, or you want to buy them with the currency exchange here, you will actually probably pay almost the same amount, because that will spike to higher prices, because a lot of people see the changes here with the promotions and will say, oh, I have to convert gold now to gems, and this rises the currency exchange, and therefore the prices, the sale here is almost made up for. So my party is discussing a lot of stuff here, so let's wait until they are done. So like I said, consider those sales, they're actually decently valuable. So if you really need those items, especially copper fed and equipment templates, they can be really nice. So yeah, they just popped up at 2 hours ago or something, so really nice, should try it. Other than that, sadly, nothing new with the patch. Really nothing, absolutely nothing. Which is okay. No patch or something. So the next patch will probably happen when 11th of February, so next week, when the balance patch drops. And then the next patch will happen probably in March, when the next update is supposed to be. So nothing crazy until then. And I guess even the balance patch is nothing surprising anymore. We already know what's gonna happen. we can do some more build crafting, which will be fun. But other than that, I think there's a little bit of a content drought right now for the veterans like me, which is fine. I enjoy playing the same stuff that I already played, so I don't mind it. Let's see how this group is. Like I said, I'm playing DPS. ARP is really good here because you have a lot of range pressure. Almost all your stuff is ranged. And what is also really nice is that you actually am quite decent when it comes to boon uptime, because you have so much self-buffing capability with the quickness here and also with all the boons that you get here. So that helps if, for example, you have to spread a lot. This helps a lot to just make sure that you have permanently at least quickness. Welcome, Mr. Smith, welcome. So this build is actually really decent here in Fractals. So at least in CMs. And don't get me wrong, this build is really strong. It's not decent, it's really strong. And it's really good in raids as well. But for normal mode Fractals or Fractal CMs where you phase a lot, those condition builds fall off quite a bit. So typically you would run this on 99 and 98 CM, and probably that's about it. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, please let me know. I try to answer them for sure. Yeah, it's actually insane. So Banshee, I didn't notice you were that interested in that topic. So I checked out a lot of that topic beforehand, before the stream, because we had the discussion, like you said last time, which games could I play other than Guild Wars 2? It's when it comes to content creation and that kind of stuff. And like you said, we mentioned WoW, and I noticed that a lot of people nowadays really just, let's say the last few months, started playing WoW, made videos about it, which is really interesting to me because it's a 20-year-old game, so it's not like something new, but still people played it, and which is really crazy to see that a lot of people start playing it. That's nothing too surprising, but it's a lot of content creators as well. So I was thinking, okay, what are they doing? And it's crazy. It works surprisingly well what they are doing, and I thought that maybe I want to do the same. So if you really am interested and want to give me some feedback on that, how I could start, what you would like to know if you already started, what kind of stuff you think is really, I don't know, worthwhile to watch, what you are interested in, so that I could maybe include that in my kind of videos and guides. Yeah, I would be really interested in that. So because there's a lot of people that started out and just showed what they did in the game in the first few hours, what they were surprised about, what was good about it, what was bad about it, all that kind of stuff. So I would be really interested to see what your opinion is on that matter, or that kind of stuff. Which is better for PvE, Mesmer or Revenant? So if you want to play every single, let's say every single content in the game, and let's say in PvE, and every single role, so Condi, DPS, Power DPS, support, I would say Mesmer is the best option right now. It's just extremely strong, but Revenant is actually a really close class as well from the placement. So I would say go for Mesmer if you really just want to go for the most optimal thing right now, but that might change in the future, so don't be too stuck on that if you're just a meta player. However, if you enjoy the class fantasy, Mesmer is for sure the thing to go for. So my short answer is Mesmer. The long answer is it depends what type of class you enjoy, because both of them are really, really solid. Scrapper is extremely strong as well. I would say Scrapper is one of the best quickness DPS in the game currently in PvE. The reason for that is it has a lot of damage, and nowadays with the buffs to it, actually a lot of usefulness as well. When it comes to super speed, it's always extremely strong on Scrapper. No other class can apply that much super speed. It has a lot of self-mitigation tools, so it has a lot of barrier application and that kind of stuff. Also can provide stability. It's a really good build. So Scrapper, I would say, is probably one of the best quickness builds. That is, if you can play it, it's a little bit, it's not hard, but it might be a bit harder to play than other classes. For example, Herald might be a little bit easier, but I would say Scrapper is a really good choice. But the question, that's why I answered it, was what is better, Mesmer or Revenant? So I only had those two choices. So this fractal takes forever, even with a good group, just because at least it feels like that, because it's so... Nothing is happening here. We just always CC the boss, we always sit around, wait for it to phase and jump around, we spread out. I think it's my... I don't like it that much. It's not my least favorite fractal, but it's definitely not something that I really enjoy that much. So I'm always happy when it's done. So let me read the chat as soon as we have a... Yeah, let's say somewhat relaxing phase, and I don't have to concentrate to die here. Yeah, it's. I mean, I get that why you would be saying something like you don't know what you don't know at the moment yet. I think that will happen to me if I start the game as well. However, and that's an important point to me, I think if you already see you think it's fun to you, you can already see it's interesting. How the game works, how it's just intriguing to you, then in my opinion it's already a good game, it's already a good start. So if you can let me know that, I don't know, why not? But the question is, of course, I'm always, you know, if I already start going for different kind of content on my YouTube channel, I don't want to scare away people that only look for Guild Wars 2 content, because I think a lot of people that are currently playing Guild Wars 2 are not interested in playing WoW. Yeah. So we wiped here because one of our team members did not kill the mob in time. Typically that happens either because someone failed to pot there, or because our guardian or whoever is the healer, probably the Mesmer, is not didn't have enough damage to kill it in time. So yeah, I mean, maybe I would do something like just playing the game, recording it and commentating on what I'm doing and giving you my feedback on it. It would not be that much of a guide, it would be more about my journey when I play WoW. Yeah. So that might be interesting to some people. It might not be the most entertaining to other people that don't enjoy WoW, but it could be something interesting for sure. I don't know, maybe. Definitely worth considering and probably on my list to do for the next weeks. Definitely. So yeah, keep an eye out for that for sure. So what is your opinion about World vs. World Mechanist? Needs a lot of improvement. Yeah, I think Mechanist in World vs. World has the same problem like Ranger, Core Ranger or Druid, where you have a pet that can die really, really fast and you can't really control it that easily. And that makes it really, really hard for competitive fights in that sense. Yeah. So you had to be really, really careful as a designer to make it not overpowered, because then it would be really boring to fight. But in the end, I would say you had to make it really tanky. And that's not something that you want, because then in roaming it would be broke, yeah, if you had a really tanky mech. So I think in World vs. World for roaming, it's okay. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's okay. But when it comes to Zerg play, I think Mechanist will never be good. Never. Really never. Because the thing for that is, I doubt they will ever make mech tanky enough to make it worth it, just because they don't want to see it in competitive play. But at the same time, if they made another change so that you could give a Mayo mech, for example, like Soul Beast does, that you have the option to go for another trade or something, that mech goes away, or you can just get some damage off without having it there, that would be a problem, because would not be a problem, but it would not be the typical class fantasy anymore. So in my opinion, mech in World vs. World only works in roaming. That's it. If you want to play it as a Zerg player, I would say it's not working, it's not gonna happen. So I'm sad to say that, but I think that's just the truth. So I don't want to lie to you. And I actually think the amount of improvement needed to make it work is not gonna happen in my opinion. You should rather play Scrapper or Holosmith. They are just better suited for that case. That's just how it is. So what do you think is the most controller-friendly class? Oh, that's an interesting question. I have to be honest, I did not play Guild Wars 2 on a controller, but I know people do that, so I can give you some feedback on that. I think the biggest concern that you have on a controller is probably that you have enough buttons that you can assign to your controller. So that means if you assign all the skills, all the for example, Untamed has F5 and maybe even F6 assigned to your skill bar, so that might be a little tough to assign to the controller. So I would say the easiest class to play in that regard would be something where you don't have to assign a lot of buttons, like other essential buttons. Yeah. So typically that would be something like, I don't know, maybe a warrior, something like that could be fine. But I would say it depends a bit on what class you enjoy, because I think there could be a build for every single class out there that is playable on the controller. Oh no, we lost the player. That's not good. Maybe they revive up here. So in my opinion, I would not go for Ranger. I would not go for Mechanist, or not Mechanist, for Engineer in general. I think those two are not my best options for a controller. I would say typically for controller, Warrior is a good choice, maybe Revenant, and maybe Guardian. So the heavy armor classes I would say are decent for controller. Yeah, maybe Thief. Those 4 classes could work, yeah, in my opinion. Deadeye, exactly. Deadeye works really well, of course, if you have this unload one button press Thief that deals a lot of damage. For that it is just core Thief or Deadeye that spams the pistol skills without any real rotation in that sense, and you just have to spam the same button over and over. So this works really well, that's true. But I think he was talking about a different, just all the builds that could be played on that class. But that's definitely true. That's a very good choice. I was thinking about making a video about exactly this build because it's just such a good option for people that have some kind of limitation on what builds they can play, because it's just such a good option. Yeah, I think Mechanist for roaming, don't get me wrong, I think Mechanist in competitive modes is baseline not very good. It's even in roaming where you can play it, it doesn't work that well. So just wanted to mention it, that you can make it work, at least. In Circ play, Mechanist is complete trolling. It's not working at all. Welcome, Filthy Casual, welcome. Hope you all had a nice day. We're just debating, actually, because people wanted to ask me if I wanted to start maybe a new Let's Play series, maybe a commentary series on YouTube about where I start other MMOs, like WoW, and give you some, not feedback, but maybe some just gameplay of me trying other stuff out, and maybe give some interesting insight on how it plays in contrast to Guild Wars 2. Because I put a lot of Guild Wars 2 content out, and I know people might be interested in other games, and maybe I can deliver at least some content to that as well. If more people here in chat are interested in that, I might consider that very, very soon. If the general consent here is nobody wants that except Banish, then maybe I have to reconsider that. But currently I have a lot of Guild Wars 2 content out, and I'm actually quite happy about my general direction. I think a lot of people engage with my content way more. No, so the thing is, if you set this as your World versus World guild, then you will now be assigned to the World versus World guild. But this will only happen at the next reset. So don't worry, that will happen in a few days. So it's not there yet. So it's just you set, so to say, I want to be with those guys, and now they know, and now they assign the teams currently in the background. So it will happen at some point, but not right now. the timer was for the lockout. So after that, you can't change it until the next reset, which happens in a month or 2 months or something like in that range. I think it's 5 weeks or something. So it will happen in 5 weeks, will be the next reset. So now you can't change anymore. So now for the next 5 weeks, you will be stuck with me if you set it to my community guild. So that's how it works. So the lockout is not when it will happen, but the lockout is until then they have to know that you will want to be with us or with the guys that are in our guild. So that's how it works. It's a little bit confusing, and I think it's not very well explained. I think there should be some explanation here and not only one button that explains that. But I think you should be fine. I think there should be no reason why you would not be assigned to us. Do you play DOR2? I did not. I did also not play SM2. I have to be honest, I did not play that many other games because I feared that if I put hours in that and I wanted to make content about it, it might not be the best option to make a new YouTube channel. But if everyone is interested in other games here, then maybe I just make some experiments and try other games, make some build guides, or not guides about it, but maybe some commentary, gameplay and stuff. And if I know enough, then I could of course make guides as well. But I think in the beginning, the guides will be sparse. Yeah. Because for me, I think educational YouTube content is great, but I don't want to make any educational content like explaining a new build and that kind of stuff if I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I always am a person that wants to be really committed to the thing that they do and completely sure that what they are talking about is true. I don't want to spread misinformation. I think in the internet there is so much misinformation. I don't want to be a guy that spreads even more. So for me, it would be really nice if I had some knowledge about a game and slowly could ease into it to make better educational content, start out with some commentaries and that kind of stuff to just get a feeling for the game, maybe have some fun with you if you had some interest in playing the game. But yeah, so that would be my general direction. Yeah, but it's really, really hard to find a perfect balance for that, because like I said, a lot of people on my YouTube channel watch me exclusively for my Guild Wars 2 content, which of course means I would completely negate their interest here. Yeah. So we got a side CC here. Let's see if we have enough DPS. I'm not completely focused on this right now, sorry. So it's not perfectly fine, my DPS, but I think it's fine. We faced her in time. That's good. Yeah, I would be interested in this as well. I think I'm a guy that could be made, yeah, just interested in most other things that are somewhat related to gaming and somewhat interesting gameplay, and not only about, I don't know, very mobile games that are just focused on different, how you can spend more money in the game. I'm a guy that wants to have some gameplay, some kind of goals to focus on, so yeah. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of misinformation in the internet, and like I said, I just don't want to be someone that spreads even more misinformation. For me, it's really important to have a YouTube channel that people that come regularly here to know it's good content. It's someone that knows what they are talking about, and I just want to make sure this is a place where everyone knows I try to make the best without, yeah, sacrificing and the truth that I want to spread. Yeah. Sounds weird, but I think that's just what I try to do. I want to have a YouTube channel that is about getting things out while still entertaining and not saying anything wrong. So that's why I'm also really important, if I ever have something that is wrong on my YouTube videos, please let me know instantly on the comments, and I try to fix it either in a pinned comment or maybe even completely retake the video, because that already happened once. I had a video where I made a big mistake in it and someone pointed it out in the description, in the comments, and I completely retook the whole video to make sure that it's not spread. So I think I try to be really thoroughly when it comes to mistakes and errors, so it's really important. Yeah, it's true, of course, I'm really experienced in Guild Wars 2, so my general experience or knowledge would not be the same in any other game, that's true. but I think I can get there, and at least I could make some entertaining and maybe even educational content as well. I think that's not, it depends of course which game I'm playing, but I think most games would be possible to make content about without going for 10,000 hours. And I guess exactly, there were, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of criticism, and I made maybe some mistakes when it comes to Reaper, and where I put it in the open world tier list. There were people in the comments that were really, really annoyed by that, and I get it to some point, but they were not that nice. So yeah, it happens always, but this definitely was a mistake. I should have put it higher for sure, and I already made a video about it to somewhat redeem it, at least show why it's so good. Yeah. So any tips for Guild Wars 2 solo player? It's really hard to get me in raids and fractal CMs because high requirement. So the thing is, I was once there as well. At exactly the same spot. I started out Guild Wars 2 as a complete solo player, and I just tried to get into the content when I had, for example, in raids. I think it's really helpful to go for raid trainings that are organized either by some community guys like me, or going for some Discord servers that have the capabilities of consistently doing raid trainings where you might have time to join all the time, learn some new bosses, or maybe find a static. I think it's really important. Guild Wars 2 is after all still an MMO, so it's a massively multiplayer online game, so you at least want to have some interaction, otherwise you would not play the game. Yeah. So therefore, in my opinion, it should be somewhat clear that you want to find other people that might be interested in learning. So in my opinion, you should find a Discord server or something like that that is able to help you in that regard. So I can link you some that I find helpful, right? I can link it in a second. But I can also just give me a second. So the first one is called the Crossroads Inn, and the second one is the Raid Training Initiative. They have been running for years, and they are doing consistent raid trainings every week, every boss. And if you sign up for that, there are different levels where you can start out, and I think this is really helpful. When it comes to fractal CMs, you just have to find either a Discord that does the same, which is a little bit hard, or you have to maybe hope that I will do some fractal trainings in the future, which I will do if we find enough players. Other than that, I would say there are oftentimes fractal trainings going on. So you could just join those, but of course you have to be really patient for the kill. It's not going to happen in the first try probably. So you have to be really careful and make sure that you are patient, and you at some point will get there. But the first few kills are really tough. So I will make sure that you understand that, because the first few kills will be really tough. There are not that much experienced players that want to play with you, and that will take a while. But as soon as you get more experience, and you will also get into more experienced groups like this one, then it's not a big deal anymore. You can just see that all the people at least know a little bit what they are doing, and we will clear the stuff quite fast. So yes, the beginning will be hard as a solo player, but you will get there if you consistently go for some patient training runs, either with Discord servers that are organizing it, or just finding a community guy like me, or just go in the LFG and hope you find training. That's my only thing that I can tell you. So I'm sorry that I can't give you a perfect plan how to make it work in the next week, but I think I made it work after some time. If you have enough dedication, it will work. Yeah. So we have another question. Will Ellie still be good in PvE content after this patch? Definitely. I think Healing Tempest will be stronger than before. It's a really good build with Warhorn done. I think this will be definitely working very well. when it comes to DPS Tempest and DPS Catalyst, I would say they are still very decent. It might not be the exact same build anymore. With Scepter, it might be with Spear, for example, on Tempest. And Catalyst might also stay with Spear. So yes, it might change a little bit of the build, but I think Ellie is definitely a strong pick after the patch. It might not be top DPS anymore, which is currently is on the benchmark, but I think it's fine if they change up some stuff and it's not always the same class that is top DPS. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, like I said, I think Elementalist and Choyas, you don't have to be that much worried. It's still a very good build after the patch. Exactly, so you already killed Sabetta, you are now professionals as well as if you killed it first time. Then next, it's true actually, if you have the first kill on a raid boss on a Fractal CM, you have way more experience, you can join groups that say, you killed it before, okay, we will take you. And oftentimes I think if you just join an experienced group and say, I know the mechanics, I know how it works, of course don't lie, but if you really do that, if you really know, you can join a group that is more experienced and ask them, could you give me a try? Yeah, could you play one run or one fight with me and see if it's good enough? And if they say yes, you might have a really good chance of getting the kill because you might not feed and you might just work it out, make it work. And in the end, you might get the kill with a more experienced group just by asking nicely. Of course, if they don't say you are allowed, if they say, no, we don't want that, then you should leave. But if you ask nicely, sometimes that works. Just wanted to say that. Yeah, so you're looking for, not for especially guides, but some environment that wants to have some nice, friendly, maybe the same learning experience. I can get that, why you would miss that if you start out in a game that is out for 20 years already. So I guess that makes sense to me. And maybe I can make something work like that. But like I said, I'm really busy right now. I have so much stuff on my Guild Wars 2 YouTube stuff already working out and stuff. So I think I will try it out, but I'm not sure if I can make let's say a community WoW guild or something. I'm not sure if that's the first thing that I will do. I'm just one guy currently doing a lot of YouTube content and that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure if I just can do that and grind and even more than I'm already doing. I think people have to understand how much time and effort I put in my YouTube channel, because I'm not sure how many people do this amount of content in the same amount of time. It's actually quite, I wouldn't say exhausting, but I think it's quite a challenge. So I will really like to keep that up for sure, but don't get me wrong, I think that might not work out if I already go for another community guild and another kind of stuff. But I get your point. I think it might make sense to just have someone that has the same experience level and might also be, yeah, just slowly experiencing a new game. I think that maybe I can make that work and at least give you the feeling of that if I do a commentary Let's Play series like that. Feels like to me a Let's Play series is something like the last century, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are interested in that kind of stuff right now as well. Yeah, it's nice. I'm always happy if people on my Twitch chat, on my YouTube comments have new ideas. I'm always very open for that because I feel like I'm just a somewhat mediocre creative person. And if someone else has a really nice idea, why not take it? If they want some new stuff to know about how it works and stuff, or makes just some entertaining content that might work, why not? So in the end, for me, that's really important. So I'm always happy if someone has more feedback, more, yeah, nice ideas. So the question was, do I have any viable alternatives for World vs. World roaming for Elementalist other than Dagger Catalyst? For sure. So Hammer Catalyst with almost the same build is also very valuable. And other than that, Catalyst is just the best roaming class for Elementalist. You have Tempest and you have Weaver, but in my opinion they are not as good as Catalyst. So I have a build guide on my YouTube channel. It's a little bit hard to find. I can show you after this boss, or I can send you the link. But this build guide has 3 roaming builds in there for Elementalist. So it's one video for 3 builds. So I can show that to you after this. And it's still up to date. It might not be perfectly valuable after the patch because we get some changes to how Elementalist works and stuff. But I think all the builds are definitely playable after the patch. So I'm sure I will show it to you in a second. Yeah, I'm already having some Fractal CM guides out there, but sadly they're not outdated at all. They're really, I tried to make them really concise and really nice, but not a lot of people actually watch them. I think the algorithm did not like them. So I can link you the playlist. I actually have most of the Fractals. I think only missing Sanqua and Shattered Observatory. I think only those 2 are missing. All the others, even the Lonely Tower and then what is the other one? Silent Surf. I think all of those I have. So if you... Oh no, I'm dead. No, I'm not. Okay. So if you just check out on my YouTube channel, I think I have most of the guides that you might be looking for. Of course, if you are asking for more raid and strike CMs, not all of them have that, and I don't have all of them up yet. But of course, that's my long-term goal, to have guides for every single PvE encounter. But that takes a while. It's not like something that I can push out in a week. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad, Malice, that my channel, I put a lot of effort in. I'm really happy that it is currently the way where it is. Yeah, for sure. And I hope it's not stopping there. Yeah, I don't want to be any really arrogant person, but I'm putting a lot of effort in. I really hope it continues to be like that. Yeah, I think that's just very important to me. It's a really nice, I don't know, hobby of mine right now, and I just want to see at least some growth because of all the hours that I put in. Yeah, no problem. I always like to answer this stuff. Yeah, it's crazy that I'm top DPS while talking about other stuff. My group is not that good. Typically, you are not the top DPS here on this fight if you are not concentrating, because there's so many mechanics and so many things happening at the same time. If you don't focus on them all the time, then your DPS will be bad. But apparently it's okay. My group makes it work. So, do you think Engineer, or maybe Scrapper in particular, as roaming and World vs. World class? I think Scrapper in roaming is extremely strong. It's extremely underrated. It is really nice with the super speed. It has a lot of outnumbered potential because of all the cleave. And it's not the easiest class, don't get me wrong, but it can work really, really well. I will probably make a video about it in the future. Not that soon, but I think in maybe a month or something I can make it work. So let's see if I can make it work. But it's a really, really cool build. And I think I think Scrapper is definitely a really good pick for roaming, for sure. Galen heard the whispers of a cooking stream. I'm not sure. That would be a really interesting stream. Yeah, normally I cook up builds and some of them or most of them are really decent. But when I do a cooking stream, it would be more like, oh, this guy just burned down his house. So better not. No. No, I wouldn't say that I'm a really good gamer. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just very experienced. Yeah, that's the thing. I just played a lot of stuff. That's why I'm top DPS in this fight. Just played it for way too long. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, World vs. World always is some kind of a, either you play a really tanky build with Celestial, with Trailblazer, or you play an offensive build, and as soon as you play an offensive build, then you will get one-shot by Willbenders and that kind of stuff. So it doesn't matter if you're Revenant, if you're Scrapper, you will always have that problem. So if you don't go for a defensive gear set, you will have that problem. However, I think Scrapper has a really decent advantage there, just because you have a lot of barrier application and super speed and that kind of stuff. So connecting damage on a scrapper is not that easy. So I would say it's a good choice for World vs. World roaming. Thanks for the Prime. Thanks a lot, Anux. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Glad you enjoy my content. At least I hope that's the meaning of this. Yeah. So I think that's Scrapper is a really good choice for World vs. World just because of that. But like I said, it's not that easy. It's not like it plays itself. But to be honest, most of the classes for roaming are not like that, just because you have to always concentrate and hit your skills, because otherwise you will just die to whatever cancer the other guys came up with. Yeah. No, I'm happy to share my knowledge, yeah, sure. Yeah, so Banish, I have allowed, I don't know, I didn't not count my videos, but I think it's now over 200. I'm not sure if it's already 300 videos. Yeah, might be, I'm not sure. In 6 months. And I did all of the video editing and all that kind of stuff myself, and I did not do it before. So I just started out, and it was some kind of my hobby to learn that kind of stuff. But in the end, now I would say I'm quite fast with it. I just, you know, learned it by doing. And in the end, editing and coming up with scripts and just making sure that everything is like I want it to be takes a lot of effort and a lot of time investment, but I think it's worth it. My first videos, if I look at them, are so bad, but nowadays my videos are actually quite decent. I'm not someone that says they are perfect, but not by a long shot, but you can see there is improvement there. So I really liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. If you enjoy my content, perfect. So, bathtub fractal stream when? I'm not sure if I will do that. I think that's again, is that allowed in Twitch TOS? I'm not sure. And I'm not really that kind of guy that wants to sit in a bathtub for the whole stream. And I'm not sure if you would be interested in seeing that either. So, maybe another time, but not right now. Could be a sub goal or something. Sounds disgusting, to be honest, but okay. Yeah. I was just thinking about doing a nice giveaway when I hit certain milestones. I'm not sure if a cooking stream or something would a lot of people would enjoy that. Because giveaways are always people like to be the thrill of getting maybe a legendary or something. That a lot of people like that. But of course that has to be a nice big milestone. I'm not sure if 300 videos is the right milestone for that. Yeah, I agree. Maybe I think the Guild Wars community right now is I don't want to say it's dying, but I feel like a lot of the major content creators are just playing other games, are completely quitting, or just not really focusing on Guild Wars 2 right now. So it feels like there is not a lot of stuff going on. And that's true, but I'm not sure if a single content creator is able to handle that. I think, in my opinion, it's really important that you, as one content creator, tries its best, but in the end, it's also the marketing, it's also about just the whole community to watch more Twitch, watch more YouTube videos, just interact more to make it more worthwhile for the content creators to produce more stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's really over 9,000, then in my opinion, then my channel is somewhat successful. Yeah, if I made it that far, then I'm happy, for sure. But it's a long way to go, even at my current pace. Yeah, for sure. That's crazy, yeah. I don't remember that times, to be honest. I'm not sure how old I was there. Probably not that old, otherwise I would remember. Kill this? Yes. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. That would be interesting. A hot tub stream with a giveaway. Yeah. That would be really interesting. I think a lot of people would watch that just because of the giveaway. It doesn't matter who is in the hot tub, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know. Could maybe in the future. But not right now, I have to be honest. Not right now. For me, streaming is more like I'm enjoying the conversations, the stuff that we talk about and that kind of stuff. It's not streaming currently is not for me to make a lot of money. It's just to enjoy the community and just have some relaxed gameplay while I talk about stuff. My YouTube stuff is where I put a lot of effort in and where I think there's a lot of, I don't know, things to be done. Yeah, it's not I can't work on my Twitch stream for 6 hours a day. It's just too much. The day only has that many hours. So if you are interested in that I increase my Twitch streams, maybe the length and stuff, that is fine, but you have to tell me that, and then maybe I have to just consider that in the future to decrease my YouTube hours and put more effort in the stream. But currently my stream is more about I have fun playing the game, talking to you, and yeah, so I also hope so, of course, Filthy Casual, that of course I hope that people would not watch me because of the giveaway, but because of my appearances in the hot tub. Yeah? But I actually doubt it. People are really greedy and always want to get some more money. Yeah? So what's your personal favorite roamer for yourself? Not talking about strength and stuff, yeah? So in my opinion right now, I really enjoy playing Dagger Catalyst. As a Celestial roamer, actually. The reason for that is I think Catalyst, or Dagger in particular, is really fun. I think the gameplay of Dagger is just very fluid. It has a nice rotation. You have immense outnumbered potential. Your DPS is not that high, but you made up for it with the immense sustain. So I think that's a really fun build. It's not the strongest build by not a long shot, but I would say it's definitely not the strongest build I've played. But in my opinion, it's a really fun one because it's extremely strong in most situations that World vs. World throws at you. And I just find Dagger extremely, I don't know, it feels like a really nice gameplay style that is perfectly aligned with what Guild Wars 2 combat brings. Yeah, it's very fluid. It is very, I don't know, it's fast-paced. I just very enjoy it. It gets nerfed, yes. It will get nerfed a bit, especially with, for example, River's Relic. I already made a build guide about it, and I think River's Relic is a really good option for almost every single Catalyst build or Elementalist build in World vs. World, because Alacrity for so many skills is extremely strong, and this will get nerfed, but also the Frost Aura changes will definitely nerf it, and all of the Water skills, except the Water 2 skill, will also get some more cooldown increases, which is of course a nerf. But I think it's still playable after the patch, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah, Filthy Casual actually really making his name come true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's totally fine. Filthy Casual, I can only repeat myself there. I think if you don't enjoy Catalyst but enjoy Core Elementalist, I think it's not like it's totally unplayable. In my opinion, I just think Catalyst is just an upgrade. If you don't know what you're doing on Catalyst, I would say either stop playing Catalyst or just play it harder. Because in the end, typically playing Catalyst for a longer time, you will notice how it works and you would probably get more understanding in the end. You don't have to, but I get, you know, the fear of having something that is not working out that well in the beginning is often enough to just stop you from playing it. I get that, but in my opinion, I think it's worth a try. Yeah, even with the upcoming nerfs, I think Catalyst is still a very, very solid pick. Okay, what is my second favorite for roaming? Let me think. So you say you don't want to have an Elementalist. Let me think. So I personally, I'm not talking about the power level. Yeah, I'm just talking about what I enjoy. And for me, I really enjoy Herald. I think Herald is for me a very fun class. Herald, sadly, currently, even with the spear buffs or spear introduction, is still not where it used to be, just because I feel like in World vs. World, if you don't have a lot of Condi cleanses, you might just get overwhelmed by all the Condi cancer that is around. And Herald has a big problem with that because you don't have that many cleanses. But the build that I'm playing relies a lot on resolution and resistance. And I just enjoy the playstyle of having a spear, of having, when you weapon or legend swap, you get a lot of damage out. And you have just, I like the playstyle. So I would say condition Herald as a tanky, bruisery roamer, I really enjoy the playstyle. But, like I said, it's definitely not the best build right now. Maybe after balance changes, but it's probably not getting buffed that much, or maybe not at all. It depends a bit on what you see when you see the Herald changes. But yeah, I think this is my second favorite build. And I really hope in the future it will work out better. Yeah, because currently it's just, I would say, a B tier build if you are an optimistic person. Yeah. Yeah, Elena Wong, of course, we are accepting even more people as we speak in the community guild. It's not about how experienced you are, it's just about if you are friendly and you want to just have some fun in the game, we take everyone then. So just write me an in-game message or Discord, or just write me your account name in the chat. Doesn't matter, I will invite you. So the thing is, Catalyst works in a way that your F5 skill, even in PvE, does not deal damage. Yeah, not a lot of, at least. The idea here, okay, I think this guy is faster than me. The idea when it comes to Catalyst is pretty simple. You have two things that work as a Catalyst. Yeah, so maybe I can give you a quick tutorial rundown of how Catalyst works. So Catalyst has one trait that makes it really strong. It's actually a minor trait. And the second thing is the orb or the sphere. The sphere gives you a field where you place it. That is, and that's the important part, not really strong by itself. Yeah, or at least not that strong. So it gives you a combo field. Yeah, in fire it's a fire field, in water it's a water field, in air it's a lightning field, and in, what is the last one? In earth you have I think it's a poison field. Yeah. So those fields by themselves are good, but not crazy good. Yeah. But Elementalist has a lot of blast finish, a lot of leap finishers and that kind of stuff. So in general, you can make a lot of use out of those fields. Yeah. I can show you after this and the next fractal, I can show you to you on the stream as well, not only talking about it. So the fields are really good. If you have then the traits that give you the boons, you will also receive boons according to the sphere that you grant. So you will get a lot of boons just by standing in the sphere, yeah, which is just baseline very good. Boons are good, yeah. In Guild Wars 2. And then, last but not least, and this is the important part, Catalyst gets a very interesting mechanic where when you combo in a blast with a blast or a leap finisher in a combo field, doesn't even have to be your own combo field, then it will give you an aura. And this aura will be dependent on the attunement you're currently in. So in fire, it's a fire aura, in water, it's a frost aura, in air, it's a shocking aura, and in earth, it's a magnetic aura. So if you use this off cooldown and swap element, get a blast or leap finisher, get the aura, swap again, you get a lot of aura access. So this is extremely strong when it comes to the auras. Yeah. Okay, let me quickly invite you. Welcome, welcome, no problem. And this is the idea, yeah, that you get a lot of aura access in all the aura traits and that kind of stuff make work of it. In PvE, typically the damage does not really come from the orb itself or the sphere. It's just the baseline. Maybe this guy can do the skip. Oh, they did it. Very nice. Oh, they didn't. Okay, they died. Maybe we just walk. People always try to go for the skip here, which is one of the hardest skips in the game, because you have to perfectly align your movement here and where you aim for, it's just really annoying. Oftentimes it's just better to just run here. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I will give you the example after this fractal, okay? Yep, Anish, thanks for joining. See you next time. What build should a new player focus on for Firebrand? So Firebrand you can either use as a full DPS, which uses Viper gear. So if you don't want to use Viper gear because it's locked behind Out of Thorns, then you can go for Ritualist gear, which brings you to supportive Firebrand, so a quick Firebrand build that is not focused on healing, but providing wounds. So this would be a good option. So Ritualist gear if you can get that. And the last option would be a full healer, where you then go for Harrier gear, Giver's gear, Minstrel gear, that kind of stuff. So typically, I think Ritualist gear is locked behind EOD, but maybe this player has EOD and Path of Fire without Heart of Thorns, could be the case. Of course, if you don't have that, then you would probably go for Healing Firebrand, because Harrier gear is probably, I think Harrier is, you can buy from the TP and Giver, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not completely sure which gear is locked behind what, because I have obviously everything. So yeah, I think Healing Firebrand, Harrier, Minstrel, and Giver's gear, I think one of those at least should be viable to buy if you have Path of Fire only. So in my opinion, that should be the best choice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good choice, a good tip here by Yago. If you enjoy PvP or World vs. World, you can go for the exotic stats that you can then select. But if you play Fractals, for example, that would be not that a good of a choice, because you need Ascended gear. But still, yeah. I think I'm not sure if you can really buy the Viper stuff and stuff if it's on the TP. I think they changed it a while ago. Because before that, you actually had to have Heart of Thorns, even if it's on the TP, which was really crazy. So you had Ritualist you can buy, Viper you can't. Okay, it depends. So on the gear stats, that's so confusing. I think that they should streamline that for sure, because it's not new player friendly at all. It's just who knows what to buy and where. It's really annoying. Just saying, they changed it a while ago that you can buy some more stuff on the TP. But still, I think it's not very new player friendly. I think buying at least exotic stuff from everything should be for... Okay, so we can buy everything. Okay, I don't know. I mean, if it's just expensive, that's okay, because that means... I don't know. Thanks for the follows, by the way. Thanks, Yago. Thanks, Fortune Leaf. And thanks, Sevagoth. Thanks a lot. Also, Anux, if I didn't have that said before. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I think there are a lot of things when it comes to gearing for new players that might be worth to make a guide about, because it's really confusing. And that kind of stuff I have to research before I make a guide, but that would probably make a good guide. Also about the Ascended stuff. People want to know how to get Ascended gear. But the short answer is just go for the Wizard's Vault. You can get Ascended stat selectable gear for weapons and stuff. So it's a really good option. Oh, give me this. Give me this. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Always happy to answer. Yeah, I think the collections are okay, but I think if the gear then is quite expensive on the TP, for me then people can still get the... Oh, come on, I pressed F. Then you can still get the achievement, or the if you want to, but you can also buy it if you really want to spend money. I think that would be fine, but I don't know. I'm not that happy with it. So I think Scrapper in PvE is better than Holosmith when it comes to versatility, because you can play it as a DPS, or you can play it as a support, as an offensive support. Holosmith is really good in its role that it currently does, which is solo DPS, nothing else. Yeah. So if you enjoy that kind of playstyle, then yes, it's good. But if you want to play multiple roles and fill all the slots that a potential squad might need, then it's better to go for Scrapper, yeah, in my opinion. And I really enjoy Scrapper. But I think on PvE, Mechanist is also quite decent. Yeah, so that's my opinion. Yeah. I mean, it's fine if I don't know something, that happens. And if people then tell me that I'm a noob, I'm fine with it, because you don't have to know everything, even if you played the game for over 10,000 hours. I think that's totally fine. And I'm always happy to learn more stuff. So I think that's important, for me at least, to get more knowledge about the game as well. Okay, so I wanted to show you the Catalyst stuff. If I only have the Legendary Gallia and working on an Ad Infinitum now, what should I get from TP for gold regarding Legendaries? Is buying weapons plus torch a wise choice? In my opinion, and that's a hot take, I would say going for weapons is not always the best option. For legendary weapons is not very long-term friendly in that sense, because you get a legendary that you might like the skin of, but as soon as you play a different build, as soon as you play maybe a different class, in the end that might not be playable anymore for your build, your class. And then it's a lot of gold invested in something that you might not enjoy that much anymore. So in my opinion, going for weapons is not the best choice. I would go for Ascended Trinkets if you play multiple characters, because they are very useful. Other than that, if you have full armor and you don't care about trinkets because you farm them or you don't play that much stuff, then I could see an argument for weapons if you don't care about the runes. And then I would probably go for something that is very useful in a lot of classes, which is typically not good when it comes with Torch, as you pointed out. I think Torch was the thing. I think Torch is not the best option because not a lot of classes actually use Torch. For example, Spear would be a good choice, or Sword, one-hand sword. Those are used by every single class, so that would be a good option when it comes to that. But of course, you should always think about which builds you really enjoy and then choose in regard to that. That's just my tip. So you started playing the Spellbreaker, glad that you like it, yeah? Of course, you can play with hammers instead of staff, but then it's a very aggressive CC build without a lot of sustain. So you have to be sure that you know what you're doing, because the staff gives you a lot of security. Just make sure that you survive. And if you don't have the staff, typically, I would say hammer is even more aggressive. If you can make it work, it's nice. But if you get pressured, you don't have a lot of tools to deal with that. Yeah. So that's my point. But I would say hammer is definitely a valid choice. I would say that's a very good option. The Frenchies, so the really good guys from France, are actually playing with Greatsword instead of staff. But they do that only if they have a support in their team. Yeah, that's just my comment on that. Yeah, but hammer is obviously a very good choice in ranked as well. Yeah, that's true. Of course, if you want to buy it from the TP, you can't buy the armor or the trinkets. That's true. Yeah, I get it. That's a good point. If you just want to buy the stuff, then of course the only option here is weapons, and only Gen 1 and Gen 3. Then of course go for weapons and buy the cheapest ones, so Gen 1 probably, from the weapon that you want to have. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick rundown. So with the traits in Catalyst, yeah, that give you, this one here gives you those boons that you can see here, depending on the element. So you get a lot of boons, especially resistance is really good, but also vigor and even fury can be really helpful. And then with this trait, those boons last longer. Yeah, baseline lasts longer. And then you get a lot of boons just by switching attunements and stuff. Gives you a lot of might. Might is really important on all builds, but also on celestial builds, because might you get double dip in there. Yeah, and then you have baseline of the sphere: might, resolution, quickness, and protection. The protection and the quickness are the best ones here. So this is really strong. And then last but not least, this trait here, was what I was talking about, gives you a lot of aura access. When you then have, for example, smothering auras, which cleanses auras, makes this really, really strong because every time you combo in your fields, you will get a Condi cleanse. Yeah. And if you then use Diamond Skin, you actually get even more Condi cleanses. So this is the synergy of the build. What about PvP, World versus World? Which kind of, what do you mean about World versus World? What was the question? I want to answer it. I don't want to be a noob. I just want to know what's going on. Yes, currently I'm playing Celestial with Narius Relic just because the combo is insane. You have so many Condi cleanses. Every time you combo with your fields, you get an aura. The aura cleanses, the blast finisher or the leap finisher cleanses. The cleanse will give you healing, and so you have a lot of healing and just baseline defensive, especially with the protection that you can get from this from those traits here in this one here. And of course, when you go out in Oya, you can't protection. So you see why this build is so tanky. And if you then just outlast the enemy with your consistent damage that you put out, with your bleeding, with your burning, with your just baseline damage of your burning speed and your fire grab, you can see why this build is really, really strong in 101s, because people in the end just can't survive for that long. Yeah, because you're so tanky and they are not. What ascended trinket should you aim for after completing the main story? Yeah, Living World Season 3 and 4 give you so much trinkets. So you can farm all those trinkets that you are talking about. Every single trinket, backpiece, ring, accessory, amulet, all of those you can farm from the Living World Seasons 3 and 4. And you do that by going to the maps that you unlock with the Living Worlds. Yeah. And you just farm the corresponding currency. So, for example, winter berries or shade shards or bloodstone rubies, or how it's called. Those you just get them by farming them. Some of them are daily kept, some of them are character kept, and you just farm as much as you can, and then go to the vendor of this world map, and then you can just get ascended trinkets there, which is really, really cheap. It's really, really good. Okay, so what do we have here? Necromancer. It's not my favorite target, but to concentrate here, maybe we can win this one 2v2 here. No, we can't. Sad. My teammate didn't do any damage. So I was talking about, let me show you. Winter berries, all of those things here. So blood rubies, petrified wood, winter berries, shade shards, fire orchid blossoms, orient pearls. Those are from Living World Season 3. And then you have the Trigatite ore, Diflord crystals, inscribed shards. Those here, those 6. I would say those are easier to farm for the most part, the Living World Season 3. So those are the maps that you would typically farm for trinkets. But that might be outdated because I did that back when this was meta, and now it's just very old. But like I said, it's not necessary anymore. But it's the best way to farm trinkets, for sure. So that would be my tip if you want to get that. Yeah. So, and typically Wizard's Vault Ascended gear is really good. So if you just play consistently daily and weekly with the Wizard's Vault, you get the Ascended armor chests or the Ascended weapon chests that you can use, and you can then select which kind of gear you want. And this is really good because you have stat selectable gear for any slot that you want to use. Really, really good. Crazy. Yeah, so that's really helpful for a new player, and it's not cheap, not expensive at all. It's really cheap, and yeah, just set the cog here, set it for the correct game mode that you play the most. So if you only play PvE, set it to PvE. If you want to play other game modes as well, you can set it to the other game modes. But this is really helpful. Just play, for example, a PvP match. You get the daily, do it a few times a week, get the weekly, and then you can easily get Ascended Gear after 2 resets. Really good. So Scrapper and Holo in PvP World versus World was the question. Sure, I will answer that. Let me think about it. So Scrapper and Holosmith in PvP right now are quite bad. They are not completely unplayable, but they are just outclassed by Mirage, by Willbender, because they have exactly the same role. They play like a roamer, yeah. But Scrapper and Holosmith are just less tanky, and Willbender does more damage. So why would you pick Scrapper or Holosmith? Because they are worse than a Willbender or Mirage, and that sadly won't change with the balance patch. I have to be honest. Maybe you can play some bruisery Holosmith with a Prot Holo, which is somewhat decent, but I think it will not change that much. So when it comes to PvP, it's a decent build, don't get me wrong, you can play it, but it will for sure not be the meta build. Yeah? When it comes to World versus World, Holosmith is a very good pick for Zerg play. Yeah? Because in Zerg play, you typically run 3 to 4 supports in a squad, not in a squad, but in a subgroup of the squad, and 1 DPS. And this DPS typically runs full DPS, and there's Holosmith is quite decent there. So it has a lot of AoE, so it's a very good choice. On the other hand, roaming as a Holosmith is challenging, but really fun. I have a build guide on my YouTube channel, and I think this is a really nice build. So you use Static Discharge to make a lot of nice, flashy skills, and I think it's really nice. It's not the absolutely broken build, but if you play it correctly, it's a really strong build. And it's really, yeah, it's really fast-paced, and it's I would say a very, very decent build to play. When it comes to Scrapper, like I said, Scrapper for roaming is actually a really decent pick. And I will make a build guide in the future about it. When it comes to, I don't know, when it comes to Scrapper in Zerg play, Scrapper plays as a full support and is really, really good. It got a lot of nerfs in the recent years, but it's still a very good choice because it has a lot of cleanses, which is currently really nice for support, and some decent utility and healing. So I would say for Zerg play, both Holosmith and Scrapper are very good picks. For roaming, both of them are decent picks. For PvP, they are not that good. So that would summarize my take on that. What run you use on that? So I use this traits. And I use Celestial, you mean Rune. I use Leadership Rune for more boon duration because I have permanent swiftness with my Spectacular Sphere trait, because every single sphere gives you swiftness. So that means I have permanent swiftness and I need just more boon duration. Yeah, Leadership is one of the most broken runes when it comes to World versus World. Gives you all stats and boon duration. That means that you can cover for the remove of the concentration of the Celestial Gear, still get a lot of boon duration just baseline. It's really, really good. And on the sigils, I'm going energy and absorption. You can go cleansing if you really need more Condi cleanses, but I feel like with those 2 traits, you actually don't. So I typically just want to get more utility. Energy helps a lot, of course. And I feel like having Boon Corrupt or Boon Steal on Elementalist is a lot of fun. It's not the most useful thing, but not a lot of people expect that you steal boons, which is really fun. Yeah. What would you say are the hardest build specs for PvE? For PvE, okay. So this is a hard question. Yeah, not because of how to answer it. I could answer it really easily. Because, for example, currently, Sphere Catalyst with a Spear is extremely strong. It has the highest bench and it needs a lot of accurate positioning to make it work. After the patch, it will get nerfed and buffed at the same time. So it will not be the hardest build anymore because they will make it easier to use, but it will have less damage. If I would have the long answer, I would say, in my opinion, supports, defensive and offensive supports, are the most broken thing in PvE. The reason for that is, if you are giving 100% quickness you increase the damage output by your group by 50% of your party. Yeah, this is insane. Think about this. You are one player gives the party a buff that is 50% more damage. This is insane. So that means that if you then do still around 20k damage, 25, 30k if you are good, yeah, on a fight, then you have by far the highest damage, let's say, for the group. So that means, in my opinion, that if you play a support correctly, you have the biggest contribution to DPS. And then if you know what to do with the mechanics and stuff, you can still carry a lot. So I think this is the reason why supports that do mechanics and still do all the boon uptime are by far the best carry spec that you can choose. Another example for that is that if you go, for example, for a defensive support like a Chronomancer, and you have a lot of boon uptime and you change your utility skills, for example, for what is needed, reflect, stability, you block projectiles with your distortion because you can absorb them, yeah, that kind of stuff. If you know the intricacy of your build, when to swap to what, this is potentially carrying more than if you had 2k more DPS. So I think this is, for me, why I would say playing really good on those builds is way harder than just saying, okay, I did enough boon uptime and that's it. But if you play it perfectly well when it comes to what you should do with the utility skills and that kind of stuff, this is improving it way more and that makes it harder. But if you just want to have an answer regarding the hardest build to play, then I would say Condition Mirage is probably the hardest build to play with X and stuff, because you have to keep track of not only you dodging and using your ambush skills and using your skills at the same time, but you also have to keep track of when your clones dodge, because they don't have quickness, so you need to wait a little bit longer until they use the ambush skill before you can do it again. Really, really annoying, especially when it comes to you want to finish your auto attack chain and you also want to let your clones finish the auto attack chain. That makes it really hard. So if you just want to go into the hardest build, just baseline, would be Condition Mirage. Sadly, it's not very good right now, but that would be my answer. Yeah, I hope that was not too long of an answer, Galen, but that's what I would think about. What you think about Hydromancy Sigil on Ellie? I think it's a good choice, especially on Dagger Dagger. It makes a lot of sense because you're melee all the time and the chill is nice and the damage is good. But typically I value on Elementalist, you have enough procs and stuff all the time that you don't really need an extra proc, in my opinion. So I think going for something like Doom Sigil would be good, or Geomancy, because those are conditions that you typically can't get. However, the chill you actually get very frequently. So I would say Doom Sigil is really good. So if I want to go more aggressive, Doom Sigil is really, really strong. And on the other hand, I would go with Geomancy, because that then leads on a Celestial build to the Geomancy instantly blocking the Doom, and that means they get bleeding and poison at the same time when they engage. So for example, a thief engages on me, steals on me, whatever, yeah, and I swap to my fire attunement and instantly apply bleeding and poison to them, which then deals, if they don't cleanse it, around with my might that I consistently get, maybe around 5 to 10k if they don't cleanse it. That's a lot of damage every 9 seconds, yeah, just from swapping attunements, which I will usually do all the time. So that's why I think those would be the best aggressive options. Yeah. What sigils should we get on our armor, like once we have a full ascended set? On Berserker gear, I would say one of the best options you can get for PvE is Scholar armor, Scholar runes, or Dragon Hunter runes. But it depends a little bit on the build. For example, Mesmer, Chronomancer has a little bit of a hard time of crit capping, so you have different runes there. So I can't give you a general answer to that, but if you tell me which class you typically play, I can give you more of a answer there. But I would say Scholar runes are good, Dragon Hunter runes are good. This is the typically power runes that you use in PvE. Yeah, I mean, so one thing that I want to mention here, it doesn't mean, I don't want to scare you away from support, because supports are so strong, it doesn't matter if you really know what you're doing, because just pressing all your buttons on a support and knowing what the buttons generally do is probably good enough, yeah. But if you know all the intricacies, what you can do as a support, yeah, then you can carry your group without letting them even notice that you carried, yeah. So this is, in my opinion, the best way to carry a group if they don't even notice you carrying them, because then you know you did a really good job. Yeah. When it comes to Mirage, like I said, no one plays this build because it's way too hard for what it delivers. But it's the hardest build in my opinion, just because it has so much intricacies that you have to take into account without really getting any payoff. If I want to play Scrapper, which switches, like, let me quickly think or check it. Don't want to say anything wrong. For Sigils, you want to go with Force and Impact. This is the best option. And again, for runes, you would go with Dragon Hunter and PvE. This is what you would do on a Scrapper, but it's typically the best way that you always do. Dragon Hunter or Scholar with Force and Impact. That's the best option that you typically have. Yeah, for sure. If you are totally honest, Celestial Gear has no business in World vs. World. A comment from YouTube. And I would agree. I think Celestial in World vs. World makes the game mode really hard to balance, because it leads to that you either can play a build with Celestial and it's really good, or the class has to find a really nasty bursty build or a really tanky build, yeah? Or so there is not a real middle ground. If you don't want to go for Celestial, you either go really bursty or really tanky. But typically in roaming, a bruisery playstyle is that what you want. So this is my opinion, that Celestial should not be played or should not exist in World vs. World. But in my opinion, it also would lead to a really big problem, because nowadays it just, I don't know. I think in my opinion, World vs. World roaming is scuffed in a way that just removing Celestial would not change a lot, because then we would see the same Cancer Condi and full power one-shot builds and full tank Trailblazer gear. I think there are so many gear stats and builds that are just annoying to fight. I'm not sure Celestial removal would be the best option here. Yeah, so that's my take on that. But I'm not sure if ArenaNet wants to do that, because a lot of people have Celestial gear from the level 80 boost. You can get it, and people just invested a lot of stuff in their Celestial gear because it's not that easy to acquire. So I'm not sure if they really want to remove it, because they already did to some extent with the concentration. Yeah. Yeah, so let's do some other stuff. But like I said, I think my solution to a lot of competitive problems when it comes to gearing and what gear stats they are, I think a lot of problems would be solved if they would increase the variance. So if there would be more gear sets that you could use. Typically in PvP there are not that many, so I think they should just increase the amount of gear sets that are available there. In World vs. World, I think there are a lot of gear sets available. If they find a way to make them all playable to some extent, then that would mean, in my opinion, a very big improvement in how fun and how the various builds are playable. Because I think if you can play different builds, that makes the game mode way better. Because nowadays you play Trailblazer, you play Marauder, or Celestial. This is typically what you play. All the other gear sets you don't play in World vs. World and roaming, which is obviously not what you want to have. But I don't know. It's balancing when it comes to competitive modes in Guild Wars 2 is debatable. Yeah, I don't want to be mean or something. I think it's just debatable. You can't make everybody happy. I know that, but I think there were also some missed decisions, for sure. I don't know. It's just my take, and I'm not on the balance team, so I can't make decisions on that. But I would change some stuff, if not a lot of stuff, if I would be on the balance team for sure. And I think every single player, especially veterans, would do that. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's they might be onto something with the next balance patch, but I hope they continue with more changes that are at least somewhat worthwhile. Yeah, the previous balance patches, in my opinion, were really bad. Now they are. This one will be better for sure. Yeah, I mean, I was interested. So I had that question earlier, but also all the time. Do you guys play Guild Wars 2 as a solo game? So do you play Guild Wars 2 with your sole focus? So don't play another game, just play Guild Wars 2 all the time. So if you have some spare time and you want to play a PC game, are you playing Guild Wars 2 or are you playing other games as well? Because that's really interesting to me. If you play it like hardcore player would, so 3 hours a day, or would you play other games if you don't enjoy Guild Wars 2 right now? I think that's really interesting. Yeah. So for me, I played Guild Wars 2 as my only game for years, but nowadays I have almost, I think I have everything in the game, to be honest. So it feels like a little bit, sometimes I don't know what to do when I log in. Yeah. And that helps when I have streams going on and YouTube videos to make, for sure. But I want to have your opinion. How is it for you? So a lot of people only play Guild Wars 2. That's interesting. I mean, makes sense if you don't have everything in the game, if you have still some goals to go for, if you enjoy the game. Definitely a worth it thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to know if you all have that at the moment or if you just play other games as well. Yeah. Really? So you play 10 hours a day. That's actually crazy. If you do that, then of course, then you probably have a lot of goals that you reach quite fast. But if you enjoy it, yeah, I get it. I did it for some years as well. Yeah, yeah, nice. Okay, Minecraft Sims. Okay, interesting. I mean, I think Guild Wars 2 is designed nowadays in a way that it is not doesn't have to be your main game. You can play it really casually on the side without missing anything. There's no gear grind that you need to do and stuff. So I think it's designed like that. But if you grind a lot because of the gold requirements that you need to get all the legendaries and that kind of stuff, typically you end up playing way more than you should or you need to. So I think it's also a very easy game that you can play and do no lifing. Yeah, 10 hours a day is definitely possible. Okay, so we have a lot of gamers that are the main game is Guild Wars 2, which is obviously for me the case as well. Yeah, if I am so bold to say, of course, because I make a lot of content about it. Otherwise, it would be weird. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. PvP and World vs. World have a lot of endless stuff to do because there's not real goal, just having fun and getting better at the game. I guess that makes sense. But in PvE, you typically farm more gold, get more skins and that kind of stuff, so you always have a goal. And if you enjoy that, I think that makes sense, yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, shooters sometimes make sense. If you want to play completely different games, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, Equinox, welcome to the end game then, if you reach level 80 just now. Have fun with Weaver. I'm not sure if Elementalist and Weaver is the best choice, because Weaver is sadly, I would say, the worst elite spec in every single game mode. But don't let me tell you how to play the game. I think if you enjoy Elementalist and especially Weaver, stick to it. It's a fun class. I like to play it as well. And if you need some help, be sure to answer, to ask some questions. We will answer here for sure. We are always happy to help new players. Me at least. Yeah. So I think Guild Wars 2 as a main game is an amazing game because you have so much stuff to do, and if you like the combat, it's really great. But as soon as you don't really enjoy going for new skins, going for new more unlocks and that kind of stuff, so typically then you can burn out really easily because there's not more content. the variety can get quite a bit boring because there's just always the same old. If you don't play a lot of classes, if you don't play all the game modes, typically you will burn out at some point. I at least have that feeling. I mean, Galen, don't worry. So PvP, especially when there are a lot of people are playing, typically you get matches that are way more fair. And if there are not that many people playing, oftentimes you have a lot of win streaks, 10 wins in a row, and then just the matchmaker says, okay, you're way too high, and then you lose 5 matches in a row. That happens. That's just PvP. You should not worry about it. I think winning and losing is frustrating at points. Yeah, I get that. But in my opinion, just have fun, try to get better, and you will win again. It's not like you should care about that anyway. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I think Viva, if I would do a fun tier list, which I might do in the future, Viva is very fun. Yeah, it's a really fun spec. So it's definitely a really nice class in that regard. But it's just not where it should be. In my opinion, a really fun class that is really difficult to play, perfectly at least, should be really good when it comes to DPS or when you can perform on it. But sadly, that's not the case most of the time. So I think Viva is in a bad spot, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't play it if you like it, because it's still in a viable spot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's typical if you start an MMO because you want to have a casual MMO. Typically, if you enjoy it too much, then it ends up not being casual anymore. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah, that's how MMOs work. They are designed in a way that you find time to play it, and if you enjoy it so much, that means, that means in the end that you typically, yeah, put in more hours than a casual, and then you are putting in hours like a hardcore gamer at some point, and then in the end you enjoy the game either not at all anymore and you leave, or you are just no-lifing it. That's just how it be. I think Viva after the patch should be decent. It should. I think they should have buffed it more, but it's okay. Yeah. But that's just my take. I think Viva deserves more love. I think they are really, really hard to Viva, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Guild Wars 2 as a casual game is a really good game. If you go into the hardcore mode, you will at some point get to a point where you have not that much content anymore if you don't make your own content. If you don't go for a full try-hard legendary armor stuff and that kind of stuff, then you will burn out at some point because there's not that much stuff to do for a really hardcore gamer that plays 10 hours a day. But I think casual is Guild Wars 2 is the greatest strength actually of the game, because there's nothing that keeps you back from just not playing for 2 weeks. Yeah, which is crazy good. Not a lot of MMOs have that. If you quit Guild Wars for 6 months and come back, no one cares. No one cares. You will have the perfect gear when you come back. If you do that in other MMOs, let's say not 6 months, but maybe let's say 2 years, you will be completely outgeared, which is obviously really sad because you have to grind again a lot. If you like the grind, that's not a problem. But if you don't, if you just want to have fun again and want to play the game in PvP or whatever, in Guild Wars 2 you don't have that problem. And that is really, really good. I really enjoy that about the game for sure. I mean, Guild Wars 2, if you, I don't know how did you say? I think 1.5 years, 800 hours, that's okay. There are a lot of people that I know that play Guild Wars 2. If you go really try hard, you can play a lot of hours a year. I think you can no-life MMOs really, really hard. So don't worry about it. I think that's just normal. If you enjoy a game like an MMO, typically you play a lot of hours, which is fine. It's your hobby after all. Yeah. Crazy. After 4 months, that's crazy. So you play 200 hours a month? That's a lot. Really good. Yeah. I think Warrior is quite easy to understand. That's correct. I would say it's not a hard class in that sense. But if you want to min-max on Warrior to get the perfect DPS and stuff in PvE, it can become actually a hard class. For example, Bladesworn, but also Berserker have a lot of interactions where you have to think a lot about how to improve your rotation in a sense that you use your skill cancelling, after cast reduction. There are a lot of intricacies when it comes to Warrior that are not that easy to understand in the beginning, but it doesn't matter because the class itself is easy. So I think the skill floor is low and the skill ceiling is high, which is perfect. I think that's how it should be. Sadly, not a lot of classes actually have that luxury. So, yeah. If I wanted to get into raiding as a scrapper, what role would you suggest? Pure DPS, Conny DPS, Boon DPS? As a scrapper, I would suggest going for quickness DPS. I think this is a really good role. Because you fill a role that not that many builds typically fill in Guild Wars 2, just because it's not... There are, let's say, 5 or so quickness builds that are really good. So you don't have a lot of other classes that compete with you. But you have a really nice unique feature of being able to apply a lot of super speed. So I think Scrapper is a really good choice, especially after the patch where you get even more buffs. So it's a really good pick, for sure. So Boon DPS, Quickness DPS as a Scrapper is really, really good. Especially if you want to go into raiding. And if you understand the class, you can easily swap to a full DPS just by switching a few traits and gears stuff. So it's very easy. That would be my recommendation, for sure. And if you enjoy Scrapper, that's perfect, because like I said, it will get buffed in the next patch, which is always a big plus. If you have a build that you already enjoy, that gets even better with the next patch, perfect. Yeah. I can link you, give me 1 second. One very good website that I can recommend every single PvE player is snowcrows.com. It's really, really good. It's extremely clean in the UI and very user-friendly. I can just recommend it. So here's the link to the Quickness Scrapper, Quickness DPS. Just check it out. There's everything about the runes, about the relic, everything that you want to go for. And also explains everything that you need to know how to play this build, rotation. Perfect. This website is very clean. I don't, let's say, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I can just advertise that as the best option to play or to go for builds for PvE. You can also get fractal builds there. Most of the time you just use the raiding build. That works perfectly fine. And they even have some open world builds, but I would say if you want to open world builds, typically YouTube is a better spot to find them. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions as a new player, as a starting player, please be sure to ask them. I'm really happy to answer them. I'm always happy to get some interaction going here, because I'm a veteran. I can tell you a lot about the game, but I don't know what I should tell you if you don't ask. So please don't be shy. I'm always happy. Yeah, that's very good. It has everything that you ever wanted. Snowcross is really good. Yes, so a lot of events, not a lot of, but some of the events are locked, or not events, but POIs are locked behind events. You're correct there, which is really annoying. But as soon as you go for the Lantern achievement, illuminating Soto maps, illuminating EOD maps, you can do that without any events in there. So you can just complete them anytime. So I was grinding, for example, the Soto maps going for 1 hour at a time, and then I got 5 completions in 1 hour because I can just ignore the events. So it's perfect. In that sense, I would say the Soto and EOD is way better when it comes to legendary completion than, for example, maybe even Heart of Thorns, where you need a lot of meta events that you need to complete. For example, Dragon Stand is a little bit annoying to complete. So I'm really happy that they did not choose this route for EOD and Soto. Yeah, exactly. It's a grind if you go for all the legendary armor stuff, but you just have to do it once, so it's okay. Since I've just hit level 80 and plan to go Condi Firebrand, what is a secondary item set I can focus on until I get a full set of Viper CSs? So I would say either if you want to stick with Condi gear, you can go for Sinister, but if you want to go a little bit of a different build, then going for a power version or a healing version. I would go for a healing version as a Firebrand. So I would go for Harrier gear. It's a really good healing option. So it gives you boon duration, gives you healing power, and gives you just power. So it's a really good support option. I would go for Harrier if you can't buy that on the TP. I'm not sure, can you buy that TP? Yeah, you can buy at least exotic gear on the TP. Then you get a nice support Firebrand. So I would say that's a really good option while you grind for the other thing. Because then you have the option to go full support or go just semi-support with the condition quickness DPS. No. Yeah, sadly Dragon Stand. I think Dragon Stand at its release when Heart of Thorns came out was one of the best maps they ever introduced. Just because it's really fun, it's a really cool map. But it's not the best anymore. At least it seems a little bit dead at some point. The meta events is still getting done, don't get me wrong. I think if you log into the times where it's currently happening, it is a very good option and you can still do it. But if you want to play it whenever you are playing, just right now, it might not happen. So that's true, it's a little bit sad. Spectre after the patch is really, really good. It's a very good support. Before the patch, so right now, I would say it is a decent choice. It is not as good as it once, as the developers want it to be, so that's why it's getting buffed. As a solo player, if you just play it for open world, it's a good option. I will make a build guide about it soon, don't worry. It is probably the safest Steve Elite spec for solo content, but it's also the least DPS-y. Yeah, so it has the least DPS. Which is fine, not everything has to be complete full DPS. No, I got trapped. Yeah, so Spectre is a very good thing. And in World vs. World, it's a niche pick. You can play it as a support in Zerg play, but it's not very classical. And after the buffs, maybe it gets better. For roaming, it's a decent spec. I would say it's probably the best Steve spec after the patch for roaming, because it is very versatile and is not getting nerfed a lot. So I would say that's a good option. Do you by chance know if the logging nodes are the best deal to sell through Blackline statues? There is I can tell you the website. There is a website where you can check that. How much value you get per statuette, so you can actually check that. So let me link it to you. So this on the wiki, you can see the statuettes, and if you scroll down to the stuff that is sellable, you can actually see what is currently one of the best things to go for. Yeah, support Spectre would run Harrier. Yes, that's correct. No, I think you can find a group, but you have to be, of course, at the time when it's currently the group is happening. If you play off times where there is currently no meta event going on, then it might be a little bit tricky to find the correct thing. But I think Dragon Stand is not completely dead. It's not like POF meta events that are not happening anytime. So here it's really important that you CC this guy. If you can CC this guy, it's so much easier. So that's why I always swap even as a DPS to more CC. You can see I'm top DPS and I'm top CC. So it's a really, really good choice to do this. If you play this boss correctly, you actually don't need any dodges, which is really crazy. If you have at least a healer that heals you above the aura ticks. 1 second and I will answer more questions. I don't want to die here. Yeah, so this is a really fun boss. It's one of my favorite bosses. That's why I did a guide about it a few weeks ago. I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's really fun. Okay. So the main way to get Ascended Gear is by playing endgame content like fractals, like raids, like strike missions, and just going for the currency and going to the vendors and buying it. This is the main way. You can of course craft it, but that's quite expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. For example, if you play a lot of strikes, you can get the blue stuff and you can actually buy Ascended Gear here. Of course, the Wizard's World is the best option. It's the free option, so to say. And then raids and fractals can also give you random drops, which will in the end also give you, of course, Ascended Gear, but you can't count on that. So that's probably the best recommendation that you can get when it comes to weapons and armor. Yeah, if you're in a Zerg in World vs. World and it's not heavily organized, then you can just play whatever and it's fine. But I would say Heal Spectre is the best option in World vs. World after the patch for Thief in a Zerg for sure. And it might be even a decent support. Even people might even want you because of that. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see how it develops, but I think Spectre buffs are good. Yeah, you always have to be a little bit careful if you, let's say, want to get money out of the statuettes, because first of all, that might change. So if you buy something that is really high, it might be that a lot of people buy it at the same time and then it goes down in price. You don't sell it and you sit on it. Or what's also really important is it might happen that in the future something comes out that you want to buy for the statuettes and you will be really sad that you didn't save some statuettes. So I'm always saving a lot of statuettes just to make sure that I can buy my stuff if I need to. But of course, that's just me, and not everybody has the same completionist playstyle that I have with all the skins that I want to collect. Okay, let's go for mid here, please. For PvP with my Mirage Grape Wizard, should I take Spear over Greatsword? I like to use Sword Shield offhand for power block spam, but I don't know if I love Spear on Mirage as much as I do on Wood. I would say Spear is the better option if you know what you're doing. Yeah. If you know what you're doing, Spear is by far the best option because it's extremely strong. It's really power grabbed. It's just the best option. And especially if you know how to use it on a word, then you probably already know how to use it in general, and then you can use it on the Mirage as well. However, I can see why on Mirage Greatsword makes a lot of sense, because you can deal out damage from range without being pressured, without having to think about it too much, because the Spear is really aggressive. Greatsword is a little bit more safe. So I would say both options are fine, both work. Before the Spear introduction, Greatsword Mirage was the way to go. Exactly like you say, with Sword and Shield in the other hand. But I would say nowadays is probably Spear is just superior. Yeah. But I would always go for the stuff that is more intriguing to you. So if you enjoy Spear on Word and Greatsword on Mirage and play it with Greatsword. It's not like anyone tells you how to do it, because if you are better on Greatsword, if you enjoy it more, then you will win more matches on it. It's not like you have to go for the meta build. If you can perform better on another build, then go for the other build. That's just my take. Yeah. Okay, what else did I want to do? Let's clean up some inventory. And play some PvP. Always going for more skins here. It's really annoying to get all those skins. You need a lot, and I mean a lot, of daily completions over the course of years actually to complete it. Get all the skins that you can get from this event. Oh, hatch chili pepper. How much is that worth? Oh, nothing. Sad. I mean, I did get the 200 gold worth item of this of strike runs before, but nothing too crazy. Mirage. Let me check. I'm not 100% sure. I think Mirage runs Firework Relic for the most part because you need more damage, or not need, but you want more damage, which is a really good thing to do. You can run Evasion. I think Evasion is fine. It's a good relic. Quickly check. Yeah, I think Firework is the best option. Yeah. But of course, if you want more Evasion, especially on Greatsword, Evasion might be a decent choice as well. So I think both are fine. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But I think more damage is better because currently the meta is really, really... You need more damage to make it as a meta build. Yeah. Okay. But I think it's always important if your playstyle, that's really important to understand, if your playstyle works better with Evasion and you survive longer and deal in the end more damage because of that, then you should go for Evasion. It's not, you should not say, okay, this meta build has this and therefore I have to use it. It's just in PvP, there is not a real meta in that sense, because often there is a meta, but oftentimes it's more important to have a build that you are more consistent with, that you are more comfortable on, to make it work in the end way better than if you go for always the meta builds that you don't even enjoy, that you are not understanding that much. So I think if you enjoy Evasion over Firework, go with that. It's not like it's the must. Yeah. Is there a way to combine Twitch and YouTube chat on your screen? So currently the people on YouTube actually see the Twitch chat in my stream and the YouTube chat on their side screen, yeah, on their sidebar. However, Twitch doesn't allow me to stream the YouTube chat back to you. I had a way to do this, but I can't do it. So on my screen, I see the Twitch and the YouTube chat on my second monitor, but I am not allowed by Twitch to share the comments here. So this is sadly the truth here, and I can't change that. It's just the how they do it, the terms of service. So I can't show you what the YouTube stuff is. I try to read the question or to at least formulate what the problem is, and then you can get the gist of what they are asking. But of course, it's not perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. So you can either come to YouTube if you really want to see it on your screen yourself, or you can just hope that I read it out loud. Which I try, I really try. If you please make me aware of it if I missed it. It's really important. I don't want to have people being confused because I speak to imaginary friends on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Twitch TOS are a little bit restrictive when it comes to that. At least nowadays it's allowed to multi-stream, because I think 2 years ago or so at least, it was not allowed. So you are actually potentially, yeah, bannable if you multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But nowadays that's specifically allowed. So I do it, of course, because I want to have content on YouTube and Twitch when I already stream, which is just a click of a button, but I can't share my chat, at least not yet. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, let's hope in the future that changes. But yeah, I mean, Twitch is not completely up to date with some of that stuff. I personally also think that YouTube is very nice when it comes to their terms of service and that kind of stuff. But I think Twitch is just for streaming games, is just a more, people use it nowadays at least more for live interactions. YouTube is slowly getting there, but I think it's not there yet. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people on YouTube watching, which is nice. But I think if I would be a big streamer on Twitch, typically on YouTube you have less people watching. That's just how it is, even if you have a lot of people subscribed to you on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so the bathtub streams happen on Twitch. Yeah, we might be onto something there for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Iotel, welcome. Hope you all had a nice day. So, I think it's not like I don't really mind Twitch or YouTube. I think it's both of them are fine. I both use them really frequently. But I think it would be even better if I could stream to all the platforms that are capable of receiving my broadcast, so that I reach more people, just to get more value of my stream. But if I am not allowed to share my chat, I think that's okay. So I'm happy that I can share my same screen or my same gameplay to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Especially because a lot of people, for example, under my YouTube comments always ask, oh, I want to see gameplay of this build. I want to see how you deal with this. And it's often really hard to come back to them and say, you have to do this, because writing a comment is something completely different than showing it on stream, showcasing it. So I'm really happy that I can stream stuff on YouTube as well, and not only say, okay, check out my Twitch stream. You can also go to my VOD on YouTube, for example. Thanks for the follow, Rains Whisper and Meridel. Really appreciate. And for me, that's really important, that I just have some interaction with the viewers that have questions and that kind of stuff. And what's also really nice on YouTube in that sense is that you have, at least I'm not a Twitch partner yet, that's why it's so bad, but my VODs on Twitch are deleted after 7 days. So if you want to watch me, a gameplay, whatever, 1 week after that, you will have it deleted. Yeah. So you can't access it. But on YouTube, my VODs are there forever. So that means I have streamed over the last 6 months, every week at least 3 times or so. And that means all my VODs, all my, let's say, hundreds of hours that I streamed were saved on YouTube. So you can still watch them. Not a lot of people do that, of course, because it's, why would you? I don't know. If you enjoy my voice, maybe. But you can do that if you want to. So that's really nice. So just having a big dump of my VODs, really nice. Thanks for the follow, Golden Coin. Thanks a lot. Oh, the queues are long again. It's crazy. Over 5 minutes. It's not good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who is that. Filthy casual. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, this will probably be completely unfair match again. If you have a queue times over 5 minutes, typically the matchmaking algorithm expands to more people. So you get, let's say, not only platinum players in your match anymore or high gold player. So you will now get silver players in your match as well. And therefore the match will be completely unbalanced and not good, typically. So typically, if you have a fast queue time, you will have a way better match quality than if you have a short match. So what do we have here? A lot of damage. What does the enemy team have? Okay, interesting. I'm sticking to Condi Reaper then. I mean, insta-pops, it depends. I think if you have an insta-pop, I'm happy that I don't have to wait for my match. Yeah, I can't tell you if it's a bad sign, because I'm not superstitious in that sense. I just think I'm happy that I get a match. Ooh, what happened to this guy? Interesting. Did he DC? That's new, that it's a red bar. Okay. No, I'm actually, I have to be honest, I'm not that much into horror stuff. I'm not, I don't know that much about horror movies and that kind of stuff. I'm just, I don't know. I'm not that big a fan of that. So that's why I don't know that much about it. I think it might be in Germany as well. So it's not like no one has it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't mind if people watch that. Just I personally don't watch it a lot, and I think it's really interesting. It's a really interesting genre. Not a lot of people would agree with me that that's a good genre. I think it's a really cool genre, but I personally don't watch it. Yeah. I'm more into, let's say, science fiction and that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit more into that. Okay, we have all on me again, which is typical. Oh no, why is my teammate dead when I'm the focus? Yeah, okay, this match is over. This match is over. My whole team is dead. I don't want to be pessimist here, but that's not gonna happen. They completely died while I was the focus. So they engaged on me and 2 people died with me. Oof, that feels bad. I tried my best here. I don't give up. I don't surrender here. But that doesn't look good. I have to be honest. That's why I say 5 minutes or more, the queues are bad. Really. Oof. So in PvE, typically, it's not that important if you have a squad full of different classes or a squad of completely the same classes. Yeah, that's typically doesn't really matter. But in the end, I would say most classes can fill most roles. That's true. But I would say I wouldn't go for 10 Scorches most of the time, just because, I mean, 10 Scorches is probably an exception. It's probably a really good way of playing the game. But 10 Mirages, for example, would not be very valuable. Yeah, because you can't fill the quickness roll that easily on that again. I mean, that's just GG next. My team surrendered instantly after the first team fight, which is really sad. So I would say, if you can fill every single role like Alacrity and Quickness, for example, Chronomancer can do that, then going for 10 classes is not a big deal at all. Otherwise, I would say it's just not optimal, but it will work in the end for sure. I think you can. There was once a streamer that did every single raid boss with every single class, just the whole squad of one class. So that works out in the end. But yeah. They already complain in the chat. They complain that the enemy team has 3 Burst Guardians, which they can't deal with apparently. And they also complain, which is a really funny comment, that the enemy team has someone that is champion brawler, which is obviously, that means this guy is extremely strong. We can't beat him. Really fun. No, I don't mind. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. I don't care. That's just happening in the in PvP. Just sad that I couldn't play this game. I wanted to improve, but how can I improve with my team? Whole team is AFK. Yeah. I mean, I think 10 Weavers versus 0 CM might be a big challenge, especially because you can't get quickness or alacrity consistently, at least not if for your team. You have to self-buff it. That might be hard. But I would say most raid bosses that not in challenge mode, just the normal mode, are easily doable on a single class. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't care anymore. But, you know, I don't argue with them because it's just like my team is arguing about stuff like that, and then you know they don't know what they are talking about. So Yeah. Thanks, Malice, by the way. Thanks for the support. Really appreciated it. Thanks a lot. You will now get a shout out every time in my videos. I have to remember that. Yeah. Very nice. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I mean, it hurts my eyes as well. I mean, it has to be said, I'm quite high rated right now. So I'm like top, I don't know, top 40 or something. Yeah, with my rating. So if I'm solo queuing, it is supposed to happen at some point that I get 4 really bad players against, let's say, some decent players in the enemy team, and at some point you can't carry anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just how it goes. I try my best, but sometimes you have to accept this is a loss. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like that. So I have actually, I can show it to you. I have actually a lot of people on my block list, but almost all of them are people that are bots or somewhat annoying. Yeah. Over the years, probably all of them got banned. Yeah. However, some of the people there really offended me, just personally without any reasoning for playing something, and then I blocked them. But other than that, I don't block people. For example, if people are bad, if people are just writing something stupid in the chat that is not personally offending me, I don't block them, because in my opinion, it's like they can tell me whatever they want. If they have an opinion that I don't agree with, I don't have to listen to them. It's only a blockable offense for me if they really offend me personally, because I think it's never a thing to be toxic, to be really offensive. I think that should not be the case in general in life, but most importantly, I think in gaming, where everyone wants to have fun, I think that's not something that you have to play. Let me quickly check. How long have you playing this game? So I played this game since 1 year after release. So this is now 12 years ago. Yeah. And if I check my age of my account is now slightly, I can show it to you, slightly over 13k hours over the last 4,288 days. So I played this game quite a lot. Yeah, 2013, I think. So I played this game quite a lot. But you have to take into account that, let's say, probably 3k of those hours, no, not 3k, maybe 2k, I was doing a lot of trading post stuff where I just left my PC running and crafting stuff in the background without playing the game. So I would say my hours are actually not that high. There are veterans that are having double the amount, for example, Teapot, and other veterans have double the amount of that and have half of my account value. So I'm actually somewhat decent when it comes to that, but I played way too much Guild Wars 2, that's for sure. Yeah. I don't know what Twitch is doing with your words there, Heavenfire, I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure, I'm just waiting. I don't want to go into the match with the same people, so I'm waiting a little bit and go for the next one. Yeah, I think Teapot plays for fun, and I play for fun as well, don't get me wrong, but I'm having fun to min-max, yeah? That's not a lot of people can emphasize that or can understand what I'm doing, but in my opinion, playing a game just for fun makes me want to quit. I want to play a game and want to improve at it and want to play the best possible. So I want to get the best gear. I want to swap my characters where I need to. I want to know everything that I want to know. So in my opinion, for me, going for min-maxing is always more fun than just saying, oh, I go in and just try stuff out. I get why people want to do that, but in my opinion, that's more fun for me. And I think that's the only thing that matters. What is fun to me? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't get me wrong. I think it's now 2 years ago or something, 1.5 years ago. I stopped going for really tryhard in Guild Wars 2 because I completed almost every goal. So I have a lot of legendaries, almost all the legendaries in the game, except I think I have all the raid armor, all the obsidian armor and that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of my gold goals done. I have full wardrobe when it comes to wardrobe unlocks. I have a lot of unlocks. I'm on the leaderboard in that sense. So I have a lot of stuff completed already. And nowadays I just play the game for fun in that sense. I don't really care that much anymore when it comes to gold. I just farm and have fun and make YouTube content. So all my time that I spent previously making gold, I'm just spending right now into going content creation, which is my passion right now. I hope you noticed that in all my output and stuff. So I really hope that this is definitely something that people notice, that I have fun doing that for you. Yeah. Don't, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not a chunky. I'm just playing Guild Wars 2. The funny thing is, ever since I started doing content creation for Guild Wars 2, my overall playtime of Guild Wars 2 actually went down. Because I spend more time nowadays editing videos, writing scripts and stuff, gathering footage, and less time playing the game actually. Yeah. Most of the time I play Guild Wars 2 I do on stream. That's it. Yeah. So I will answer the question regarding the other games I play. Just in a second, let me answer the quick questions first. What do you think about lucky drops? So I have to be honest, I did never get a single lucky drop in the game. My luckiest drop that I ever got, and I played a lot of Guild Wars 2, as you could see, was, I think it was called something like a mask. No, how is it called? Something char? No, how is it called? This Grothma masked from where you could get the Kan-Ur infusion, but I did not get the Kan-Ur infusion, but the other thing, I don't know. There is an item that is around 1 to 2k gold worth, so that was my biggest drop. I was really happy that I got it, but that's it. I did never get an infusion, even though I did hundreds of Chuck Garants or Pinatas, so that's just luck. And you could see my video about where I opened 2000 Black Lion keys, which is the highest amount I think a lot of people ever opened on YouTube, at least in a single video. And I did not get a single contract. Not a single contract. Just today, Echo, a guy in our guild, opened 800. He got 3 contracts. I opened over double the amount. That's me. That's you. Okay. So Asmir opened 800 or something, and he got 3. As far as I know, I don't want to spread misinformation, but I think that's what you wrote me, yeah? Which is insane. I opened over double the amount and didn't get anything, yeah? So that's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to me, yeah? I mean, if you just play more, then you will probably have a higher chance of going for that kind of stuff and getting higher infusion drops and that kind, if you play that. But I would say, yeah, might not be the thing to go for. If you are lucky, you get it. If not, just play the game for fun and don't go for the infusions. Yeah. From the daily Grothmar Valley Vault. That was back in the day when Grothmar was released. Nowadays, no one does it anymore. But I was doing that daily for a few months then, or a year. So that was it. Yeah. Yeah, Echo works for ANET apparently. No, I don't know. I think that would be insane if they would give their own employees higher luck. So, do I play other games than Guild Wars 2? Yes, I do. I did not play them on stream yet, but I might stream them. I might make YouTube videos about it in the future. For example, I might try out new games like World of Warcraft, like Final Fantasy, and share my experiences as a new player. Maybe people are interested, but I will also maybe try to do some reviews of games that are not that known. Maybe you're interested in that, but I play, for example, roguelikes. I really like that, like Hades, like Potato, that kind of stuff. And I really like to play Warframe at the moment. I think Warframe is a really good game. But my main game is Guild Wars 2. That's what I play most of the time. Yeah. And I'm not sure, Mr. Smith, as if actually there are luck accounts out there. I can't prove that, but I can also not prove that it's not the case. So in my opinion, I don't have a luck account. But because if you open 2000 Blackline chests and don't get it, I would say by the law of the big numbers, you should actually get something. But apparently I did not get any contract, not even the cheapest one. So in my opinion, I'm not completely happy. And I wouldn't say that there are no luck accounts out there. But what can I do? I just live it. And I hope that in the end, I might get a lucky drop maybe when I just play more of the game. Yeah, maybe it's insane. Maybe it's a proof to people to not buy Blackline chests if you want to make money. Maybe that's just a proof. Oh, this block. Why are people always blocking my 3 skill? It's actually insane. Do they know that it's coming, or are they just incredibly lucky? Again, it's not fair. Crazy. I mean, I guess then you are a lucky guy. Don't worry that I'm happy for you, but I never dropped anything good from Blackline chests. And yeah, that's just sad, but that's how it goes, I guess. Oh, I did not corrupt the stability. Not good. Yeah, there's a lot. If you have that much items to sell, I would recommend to go to the trading post Discord, the Overflow trading post Discord, because there you can sell it for 90% TP price without losing any money. So send it directly to a player and receive money from them directly. So you get 90% instead of 85%, for example, and people still buy it, which is really good. But that means, of course, you have to do direct player blading and don't use the trading post. I did it a lot back in the day when I was doing trading post stuff, because it's really lucrative over the long run to save taxes, of course. But if you want to, if you don't care about yeah, so that's why I play Condi Reaper against Mirage, because Mirage is really bad against Condi Reaper. At least if you don't know what you're doing. I would say the thing is, Elena wrong, there are a lot of classes in Guild Wars 2, or most of them are actually fun, but you should stick to one and try to play other ones after that, because if you not stick to one, then typically again it snowballs so hard. Yeah, sounds like a German thing. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the in-game taxes, of course, because every single, I talked about it in my flipping video actually, where I explained how this works, but every single transaction you do in the transaction house in the TP in Guild Wars 2 is 3-way. So you get the money, the player that you sell it to gets the item, but Guild Wars, the developers, suck 15% out of the economy. So 15% of the value that you trade will be left out of the economy. That means in the end, you have to be really careful to I don't know, I'm just permadead here. Sad. So this is really important that you understand that, and if you want to circumvent it, especially for big items where you really pay a lot of taxes in the TP, so you have to think about that before you sell it, and maybe you go for that in the trading flow Discord. I can do guides for the legendary trinkets, but the thing is, I have to be honest, there are already people out there that made the guides on when they first was released, those legendary trinkets, and they have a lot of views, and I would compete against them. I had nothing new to tell you other than what they already told you, and I'm not sure if my video would get a lot of clicks because of that. So I always had to think about what could I deliver new value. And in my opinion, making a new guide about that would just retell you the old story. Yeah. So I'm not completely sure if that's worthwhile for you and for me. So, but it's so much damage. It's too much. Yeah, that's just my take. Yeah, I mean, at least you got some legendaries out of that. Be happy for that. I mean, it's good. I'm happy for you because I think there should be more people that have fun in the game, get lucky drops and stuff. I'm always happy if that happens. Yeah, yeah, but it's really important that if you have a high, big ticket item, like for example, like we got here right today, one person in the chat that got the permanent one, permanent Bank Express, for example. This costs 6.6k. So if you sell that on the TP, yeah, you lose 15% of that. That is a lot. That is almost 1k month, 1k. Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy how much money you lose. But of course you got the big ticket item, so you can't be sad about that. But in the end, this is something that you should be aware of. And if you want to know how to avoid it, you can of course go for the trading post Discord, Overflow Discord, to get a little bit more out of it. But in the end, you will still have less than the 6.6k. Yeah. Yeah, I would say playing the story on one class makes sense, and you can swap after that very easy. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of ways to make alternative characters really easy. So I would say there is no big reason to play other characters in the story. Just finish the story, get it done, and then swap to another character. It's my take. Yeah. I mean, how do you all get so much money? It's crazy. Okay, 5k. I would say you can save it until the next legendary that you want to go for, but typically I think there are a lot of stuff, a lot of things that you could do. I would say what is a good goal? Legendaries are a good goal. I would say what else is a good goal? Upgrading your character that you play a lot. Gem store stuff is really good in my opinion, like bank slots, this kind of stuff. Shared inventory. Yeah. Don't sell your sister. That's not what you do. Especially not for 300 gold. That sounds like a horrible deal. I mean, depends how nasty she is, but typically 300 gold is not that much to sell your sister. Yeah. I mean, if you got 5k by playing the game, it's actually insane. What are you doing? All the people in the chat are so rich. I just play the game for hours and hours on stream and I have 7k gold. Yes, my account value might be a bit higher than yours, but I played a lot of Guild Wars in the end. Yeah, so. I mean, I would say I made a video about it. Yeah, what goals you should go for as soon as you reach level 80. And I made also mentioned one chapter that I just released today, actually, this video. I mentioned in this chapter what kind of stuff I think you should focus on. For example, legendaries, account upgrade, and that kind of stuff. And I think that's almost everyone can fall in this category. If you don't like to go for skins, useful stuff like bag upgrades, inventory slots, copper fat, that kind of stuff. Maybe even the permanent bank access. I really like that. It's really expensive, but I really like the convenience of always having that on my character to open it. I really think it's amazing. That kind of stuff, I don't know, it works. Exactly, I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong, I'm actually happy for you. Just saying I never got that. So I just put in a lot of hours to get that. I'm not sure which is worse. If you put a lot of hours in but get it in the end, or if you just are lucky. I think both is totally fine. Yeah, it's just the goal in the end, you reach it. I'm happy for everyone that does it. Yeah. The most expensive thing the permanent one has 2 reasons. First of all, it's the newest edition. It's the latest edition. So it has the least amount of people have it already when it was introduced. And the second thing is, it gives you the crafting station. Yeah. And the crafting station, yeah, I can show you. The crafting station in the game has, and that's the interesting part, has a bank built in. So you actually get the bank access while you already have the crafting station as well. So that means that you get 2-for-1 deal. Yeah. And it's a little bit of extra clicks. Yes, but you get every single crafting station that you want to have. If you want to go cooking, you can go there and grab it, go to the bank stuff, get all the stuff, get the materials if you want. Or if you want to go artificial, you go there. So every single thing is included in the crafting thing. So that's why it's so expensive. I actually don't have it because I don't care about the crafting. I have my characters that are dedicated to crafting standing here all day. I can just log in and have the same value. And I have the bank access, so I don't care about it. But if people want to craft, that's the way to go. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always people complain a lot about that stuff. And in the end, if you just look around and you want to do a special event, oftentimes you find people. If you can't solo it, then you find someone and just look for them. And maybe you're lucky like you and get it 5 minutes. So I think people are just complainers. That's just how people are, especially in the internet. And that's just how it is. Yeah. And I just want to repeat, I did not sell any sisters to get the and also not brothers to get my account values. I didn't sell anything, also not my kidneys. Please don't get that the wrong way. I did not sell anything. Everything in my game, in Guild Wars, my account value is completely honest work. I played the game. Yeah. Did not sell anything. Yeah. Really, please. Really important. Would I buy the total makeover kit for statuettes or gems? I would buy it. I wouldn't buy it at all. But if you really had to buy it, then I would probably buy it with gems because the statuettes are harder to come by. Because the statuettes you can use for a lot of stuff. So I use statuettes for skins. If you don't like the skins or if you don't care about all the skins, then you can use them for a lot of other stuff. And I would say gems are very easy currency that you can easily do. And I don't know. So for me, statuettes are really valuable. So I always go for example, wardrobe unlocks. This is really amazing. I can't get anything anymore. So that's why I can't preview it. But for me, that's really important. And going for gems is just the straightforward way, and you can save your statuettes that way. Yeah. So that's my opinion on that matter, for sure. But like I said, I wouldn't buy it at all because I have a lot of them lying around just from opening a blackline chest and getting them passively. And in my opinion, it's most of the time better to create a new character that looks the way you want to have it look than going for the total makeover kit. I know there are some exclusive stuff in there, but in the end, I wouldn't go. Would I go for the permanent hairstyle contract? At some point, I would, just to have it. I wouldn't use it, but I would like to have it at some point because I'm a completionist and I don't have every single contract yet, so might get it in the future. I might be the first player that gets it and I open it and I would never use it. I would just have it and sit in my bank just to have it. But is that a smart way to spend your money? Definitely not. So that's why it's not there yet. Yeah. The most expensive thing you own in Guild Wars 2. Boah, that's a tough one. Let me check. So you can see it right now. Yes. So my bank contract is probably the most expensive thing that I have on my account because it is 6.5k value. So if I have a single item that is the most value, this would be the item. But if you look at my value when it comes to Guild Wars 2 efficiency, my wardrobe value in total is almost 500k and I'm place 57 with that. So I'm actually having quite a lot of that value here in my wardrobe value. but I have all legendary armor skins that are in the game, and I have all legendary arena variants. So if you count that as one achievement, one unlock, then that would be the most expensive stuff. Yeah. So those ranks here, I don't care. I just want to have fun in the game, and I'm a completionist. I don't go for anything here for on the leaderboard or stuff, but it's just fun when it comes to that. Yeah. Have I ever swiped? Yes, I swiped, but not too much. I think I swiped, I don't know, maybe 200 euro or something if I really wanted to get some money to ArenaNet to make them. I don't know, I played the game for 13k hours, so it makes sense to give them a little bit more back than just the expansions, but I never swiped too much, yeah, so. But I just like to complete stuff, and you see, Branded Mass, rank 30, I didn't ever farm it, I just saved it. I never used any of it, I just saved it, yeah. Or I used some of it for skins, but that's it. And it's just like, I play a lot, and every single thing that I don't use, I just save it on my 70 or something characters with all my storage space, you can see. So that's what I'm doing. I just play the game for fun and want to min-max stuff, and min-maxing means don't throw stuff away, because in the end you might want it at some point. Yeah. I mean, it will come back, so don't worry. The Winter's Presence will come back. I think it's a really nice skin, and if you like it, you will get it next year. If you are smart, you can even buy the stuff that you need for it beforehand when it's cheap, and then get the Winter's Presents when you can get the achievements. Yeah. I would say bank slots or material storage, which is better? A very good question. Depends a bit. If you are a really lazy person, I would say material storage is better, because you can then just press the compact button. Yeah. But if you are a person that plays a lot of characters, the bank is better. Yeah. So both of those options are totally valid. I think in the end you should go for both. I made a video about my gem store tier list, and I mentioned that in there. But I think for a lazy person that always just wants to deposit all the materials and just don't want to worry about it and just sell it once a year, then the material storage is better. But if you are a very, person that is really cleaning the inventory, then typically I would go for the bank. Bank is more important, yeah. Okay, so more family to sell. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, but yeah, bank is probably the thing, yeah. No bathtub. Yeah, I'm true. Maybe I have to do a bathtub at some point. If everyone is asking for that, maybe. I don't know. You are rank 460 at playtime per day. Impressive. That's a stat that you can't beat that easily. Yeah, I mean, I'm just here with all the grindy stuff, but I'm not that high when it comes to anything regarding playtime. Yeah. My account value is now 920k, so I'm almost at 1 million. And if I sell all my stuff that is currently just sitting around at my account, I get around 20k, which is nice, but at the moment I don't know what to spend this stuff. Really, they are releasing a cookbook. Maybe I have to do that as well. If I'm really popular by getting to burn down my house on Twitch and everyone sees, maybe that's a nice business strategy. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, some people wanted to see that. Yeah, you see, I save all the stuff. I have a lot of Blackline stuff. I don't know. At this point, I just want to save stuff. Yeah. It comes with an exclusive spear skin. Really? Crazy. I did not know that. That's interesting. Really interesting. Okay, let's go for one more PvP match. Maybe we can get a win today. So, let's see. I think it's in the internet. I think to me it's really important. I never want to boast about something. I want just to have fun. I want to give people either some knowledge by just sharing what I know about anything, or I just try to, I don't know, I try to entertain people. So if I have something that others don't, I don't want to boast about it. But if someone asked how much do I have, I of course show it, because that's what the question is about. So please, I'm always trying to be humble in that way, because having more numbers in a video game, some imaginary pixels on a screen without any real value, is not something that I want or you should boast about. So I think that's really important that I mentioned that here, because I'm not proud that I spent 13k hours on the game, because that's just not something that you should be proud about. It's just my hobby at this point, yeah. So it's really important. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Thanks for watching, Dr. Nibbler. You think Reaper will be meta after having a nerf through Spears change? I think actually Reaper will be a really good choice. I think Reaper, especially in PvE, will probably be one of the best classes after the change. In PvP, I would say Harbinger nerf hits really hard. I think the Harbinger nerf, I'm a bit of the opinion that it's a little bit too hard, the nerf. But I'm not sure if Power Reaper will be back. I think Power Reaper is too weak. I think Condi Reaper is a very good class after the patch. I think it can deal with Mirage decently well in PvP, but it will probably struggle still, because Mirage has a lot of power damage. That's something that you don't want to see against the Condi Reaper build. But I would say it's in a decent spot after that. But I would say Harp is sadly not that good anymore. Yeah, you're right. The resets for the Wizard World will be happening at the next patch, which will be around in 38 days or something, so in the middle of March. You can see it when you go to the special tab. You can see it in 35 days will be the reset. So the complete reset with the special and the new seasonal stuff. What is this? 3 Reapers, 2 Willbenders. What is this matchmaking? That's insane. Should I play Reaper here or should I go support? I don't know, maybe I should go support here, but nah, let's play stick for that. Yeah, the weekly is always saying what is weekly, so what is happen. So you have 5 more days left in the week until the weekly resets. The special tab means until the whole thing resets, so you get new rewards here. The weekly thing just resets the achievements that you can get here. Hope that makes it clear. No, I totally agree. Don't get me wrong here, Heaven Fire. It's proud of what you achieve, but you should not boast about it. I think that's something completely different. So if you get some hardcore prestigious achievement, you get some nice skin that you're really proud of, then that's fine. But being in the internet like a streamer or something and boasting about something, I think that's not cool. I don't want to be known as a guy that is just showing off some stuff in the internet and no one really cares about it. Yeah, I think this is something different. Yeah? Just wanted to say. Yeah, and especially if I think Guild Wars 2 doesn't even have anything in the game that is really, I don't know, really highly prestigious. Yeah, maybe winning a lot of monthly ATs or going for the legendary Saros kills or something. But having a lot of gold in Guild Wars 2 is just, you could farm silver waste 24/7 and be the least skillful player in the game, and you could still get every single gold thing in the game. It's insane. Why aren't we? Oh, everyone is dying left and right. I don't know. Feels like this is not a good team comp to fight all the time. I don't know. I'm just of the opinion I want to have fun and I want to share my knowledge and my fun with you. And if I can do that without talking anything mean, that's perfect. But if I by chance boast about something, please let me know. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be really, I don't know, just helpful, friendly, and hopefully humble. That's what I want to be. I don't know. I don't know what today is. I mean, it's just not really. It's not really working. I don't know. My team is just getting farmed by all the guys here, and the matchmaking is also trolling me to some extent. Nice, I got the interrupt at least here. And I'm dead again, I guess. I mean, there are 4 people here on me. What? And my team still loses the map. I actually don't get it. I think this evening is actually insane. The matchmaker just says, win this, please. Show me that you are a good player and win this by killing everyone in the enemy team without your team. It feels like this is just they want to not let me play PvP at all. Yeah, maybe they know that I'm streaming and they want to have some content for you. Okay. Maybe we can come back here. The random block. Nice, on my best skill here. That's what we like to see. No, it's not gonna work. I tried my best. Yeah, I think PvP is just nowadays, sadly, when there's not a lot of people playing like almost all the time, then it's just a gamble. It's like throwing the dice and hoping you get a 6 or something. It's just you roll for the match and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's the impact of you oftentimes is not that high. So you see this match, even if I played it perfectly, I'm not sure if I would have won it. Just because my team is really trolling. You see, they are against one player almost losing here. So this 1-on-1, hopefully it stays a 1-on-1, then I can easily win this. Oh, it doesn't stay a 1-on-1, of course. I mean, it's not lost yet, so I try my best here to make it winnable. But we are 200 points behind on this map. Gotta be tough. Yeah, but I try my best. Yeah. I mean, if you carry me, nice. But I actually doubted that you can join me here. That would be interesting. I mean, they missed half of their burst, so now they are dead because of that. I hate that they get so many blocks. That's actually insane. Why do they have so many blocks? Okay, maybe it's a comeback. Maybe it's a comeback. That would be insane, actually. Maybe. Let's see. I try my best here. Only 100 points now. We get the bell, maybe? Looks like we get the bell. They are all pushing to their far point. So if I can contest it in time, we don't lose our teammate here. Maybe it's winnable. Would be a nice comeback, but it seems like we're losing far, so we have to be really careful. My team is disengaging. I just tried to make them hold for as long as possible. My teammate is against 4, so we have to disengage here. If we can kill this guy before his team is coming back, we are actually in a decent spot. So you can see this is actually winnable. I have to go to a kite spot because they will engage on me in a second. Nice, I got the CC on 2 people. Oh, that was close. I almost got the CC here. Nice, 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 nice. This point, it's winnable. We have to be a bit careful. But 60 points behind, is winnable. Power Reaper here is not really scary for me. I just have to be careful because there's so many people on me. Sad. My team overextended. Yeah, Mesmer is really strong against Reaper. That's why Reaper is sadly in a not that good spot when it comes to PvP right now. But it's a fun spec, and if you play it correctly, it can still work. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's positioning is key with Reaper. It's the most important thing. That you position yourself all the time correctly. Otherwise, you just lose. You see my team is getting farmed by this horrible comp of 3 Power Guardians and I think 1 Power Reaper. So now I just disengage, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This point, I guess I just die on point. Okay. I mean, it's really hard. We are 150 points almost behind, and if they get the bell, it's over. Yeah, Inanayos is horrible. It's not. I'm happy that I have to go. Don't have to go back to that. Yeah, I think it's over now. I mean, we could have won it actually, but my team is just feeding all the time. So that's just how it goes, I guess. But Reaper is really hard to carry with this spear and yeah, that's just sad. Yeah, you can't win those matches. Happens. Happens. Yeah, but I think Reaper is I really enjoy Condi Reaper. I think that's one of my most go-to fun specs that I want to play in PvP. Sadly, it's not that good anymore. So if I now get a match, I will probably swap to another class and you will see the difference. If I play a different class, oftentimes you can carry really hard with it. For example, Willbender or even Support Tempest. Those really good picks right now in Ranked are crazy. Condi Reaper, if you get focused, if you just hit all the time, Willbenders in the enemy teams and that kind of stuff, it gets really, really hard because they just can focus you, and if 2 of them are on you, you can't really counter pressure them and just die. So yeah, I think it's the ranked right now is like you just roll the dice. If you get a good team, if your enemy team has some broken builds, it's really hard. It's really hard. Yeah. But I have fun. This match was actually close, somewhat close, so I'm happy. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's nice if you have the option in PvE to have different different roles that you can fill. So going for a power build, going for a condi build, going for a support build, I think that's really good. If you have all of those options, yeah, I think that's the best thing to go for. You should always, if you enjoy the game, should spread out and play different builds, different roles, so that in the end you will have a better understanding of the game, but also a better overall, yeah, coverage when it comes to what kind of stuff you can fill. Because if a group is looking for condi DPS because you're playing Fractal CMs or something, it's really good if you play and have a condi DPS. Okay, what do we have here now? This map is really good for Reaper though. Yeah, let's play. That's tough. I really like to play Reaper against Weavers. And I don't like to play support here if we have a Eve. Maybe I have to play another Reaper game. Maybe it's the rare Reaper game again. Because if I go for support here, playing support Tempest, playing against two really high chill targets, that's always chill me, support can get really annoying. And if I play Willbender here, they have a lot of no port spots, and in the end I might die to that. Okay, now our teammates swapped. That's okay. I think we win this match. Looks decent, our team comp. No. But that's always what you think, what you should think about when you play PvP. You should have fun, but if you want to min-max and want to play different builds, you should always think about which builds you play. For example, going against a Weaver, it's really good if you can apply chill, because Weaver is really high affected by that. And if you play against a lot of Reapers, then typically going to Elementalist is not so fun, because you will have way higher cooldowns on all your skills, making it way harder to play. So that's my thinking process here. This guy should be dead. We should focus on. He has used his F3. Was a nice CC actually. This guy is already... Oh, it's a Power Weaver. That's even better. Kill, please. Yeah. Nice. Good rally, good rally. Okay. Oh, there are so many Reapers. Okay. We're in a good spot here, like I predicted. We just go for 2 cap, I guess, and let our thief decap, and we win this match, I guess. I just want to get out of combat here before I engage the Willbender. But apparently I can't get that. Okay, he has no dodge. So now he's dead. Double dodging on a fresh air weaver is really deadly. He dies to my condis. No, not yet. It's really fun if you know what a build does, and Weaver is just a really good target for all my condis. Okay. There's another guy coming. Oh, what is he playing? Condi Mirage. Okay, the Condi Virtuoso. Really interesting. Another guy coming. I have to be careful because they can easily focus me. I'm by far the easiest target here. So... have to be really careful. I don't know. I think we are in a good spot, but we have to be careful. It's still losable for sure. Especially when the Willbender engages on me all the time with a hammer. That's just a death sentence if that happens. It's just annoying. I survived. That's really good. That's why no port spots are so important. If the people don't know how to get there or don't trust their skills, then it's an easy survive. Yeah, I mean it's a power weaver, so I think it's you see that because of the scepter, so it's a really easy target for me. So as soon as if you play multiple builds, know how to play them. You see now I know he dodged, and I will get the corrupt even though through the block because of my unblockable skill. All that stuff you notice when you get better at the game, when you just play more. Yeah, so it's not like. That's not a good matchup, I have to be honest. It's horrible if you play against a Condi Reaper with this setup. It's just... and now the confusion will now kill this guy. I just retransferred the confusion. Sometimes a Condi Reaper is extremely strong. If you have the correct setup, it's really good. But if your team comp or the enemy team comp is just annoying with 2 Willbenders and that kind of stuff, it gets horrible. Okay. Okay. Oh no, he can port to me. I see the Weaver and I go on the Weaver. It's such an easy target for me. Yes, he can burst me. Yes. But I can kill him with Condis over time. He's dead again. Nice, I got the kills. Yeah, this match is not that interesting, sadly, to play. Sometimes it feels like PvP is just sometimes it's a stump in one direction or a stump in another direction. Yeah, interesting is always that's when you want to say, oh, this build sucks, but you say it's interesting, yeah, because in the end you don't want to offend them, yeah, because they might have fun playing this build. So you just say it's an interesting build, yeah, because in the end every build can work, but you see this is just not working right now because a Power Weaver against the Condi Reaper, horrible setup, horrible. Was there any changes with the recent patch? No. No changes at all. You just got a new... what's it called? New festival. That's it. Other than that, no. No changes. We will receive a balance patch in next week. That will change some stuff, but nothing too crazy, to be honest. Yeah. Your team is victorious. I mean, for me, I always want to be good at the game, otherwise I don't have fun. But some people have fun by playing a build that they really enjoy, which puts them in obviously a really bad spot, because Power Weaver is just at the point where it's just really close to just trolling. So I would say I don't have fun when playing a build like that, but if they do, sure, they can have fun and try that. I don't want to say anything about that. Power word is really good. Power word is really, really good, especially when it comes to roaming and PvP. But I think it's a really good build. Yeah, I think it's overshadowed by Willbender right now, but Willbender will get nerfed, so Power Word will be really good in roaming, and it might also be a really decent pick in PvP. However, in PvP, I think Mirage is the way to go after the patch. Mirage after the patch will be extremely strong. Yeah. What do you think is the most consistent? Doesn't have to be the consistently super strong, but just the most consistent. Class for PvP and roaming. I think the most consistent class for roaming and stuff is probably oh, that's hard. It's really hard actually. Depends on your skill level. I think if your skill level is not that high, so if you are like me and you are a good player but not a really amazing pro that wins monthly ATs all the time, then Catalyst is a really good pick. It's really good for roaming, it's really good for PvP. Even after the patch, it will be really good. Hammer Catalyst, really good build. When it comes to really high-end gaming, where you say, okay, I'm a god gamer, I can play everything and I'm the best, then Mirage. Power Mirage is extremely strong. Your damage potential, your outplay potential is insane. I think this would be the pick for me for when it comes to roaming, and if you really want to go high level for PvP and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be my choice. But it's not something that is extremely crazy good. Yeah. I would say Hammer Catalyst is extremely strong, or Dagger Catalyst. Those two are really good options. After the buffs in PvP or changes in PvP, I would go with Hammer. Dagger gets nerfed too much, it's not good anymore. But Power Mirage you play with Spear, it's insane. It doesn't get any nerfs to Spear, it just gets buffs. So in the end, it will be a really, really good pick. So we're playing against someone from Systematic Abuse, so that's a god gamer. We have to play carefully here. But I guess we have 3 people against 2, so it might be Asadom actually. But I guess he doesn't have a chance against the superior build. I can't catch him. I mean, Catalyst is a really good one. But if you don't enjoy Catalyst because it's so spammy and that kind of stuff, then you are fine. Then you should definitely play something else. I don't want to say this is the way to go. You have to play this build. Okay, we got him. Nice, you did your T4 fractal. That's perfect. I mean, as soon as you got into T4, out of Tier 3 hell, perfect. Then you're out of there and it's way better. You will just improve from now on. Really good. That's what you should do. Perfect. I think Lackluster, that's a really good thing. I think if you have the mentality of getting better at the video game, then one of the best things to do in Guild Wars 2 to improve in competitive modes is to play every single class, get a grasp of how they play, especially the meta builds, and then in the end, if you face them, you will know how to fight them because you played them before. So that means you can see, okay, they are setting up for a combo. They now use their stun breaks. All that kind of stuff you only see if you notice what you did wrong, what did kill you when you played the class. It's really, really good. After the patch, when it comes to PvP, I think the best side-noting build will be Hammer Catalyst. Hammer Catalyst is already really strong when it comes to PvP right now, but after the changes, it will be the best side-noter. I think that will be safe to say, yeah. And it's for roaming, it's really, really good. You play a Marauder variant, it's really strong. You're really tanky, and you have a lot of power damage. It's perfect roamer, I would say. It might not be as tanky as this build, but it has way more damage. And is really good in outnumbered situations. Yeah. No, I think if only 8 people reacted, then I'm not sure if we will hold it. Maybe we'll just do the raid training next week if we find enough people. Because I don't want to fill it with randoms if I already know that we won't have enough people. I want to give you the opportunity to join, and if we don't find enough people to join, then it's sadly not happening, I think. We will just do it next week. The reason for that is, like I said, I think it's important that I have people that I can trust, that listen to me and just want to get better. If I just get a random puck, they might not listen to me and we might wipe over and over just because they fail mechanics or just don't listen to me. So I really want to have the security that I know I can trust you to listen to me, yeah? And don't troll or just ignore me. So that's really important. And I hope you don't mind that we just postpone it for 1 week if we don't have enough people. Yeah. And next week we will have for sure not enough people. I'm pretty sure about that because I know of people that have signed up for this one and had to cancel. So we will get it next week. What's the website that shows the patch notes? So there are 2 websites. You can either go on the wiki itself or on the forum page, or you can go on the wiki. I a search for the link. Give me a sec. There we go. This is it. I think the wiki is better because it also shows the how's it called, the icons, so you know which attack it is that is currently getting changed or stuff. Stop it! I don't want to play against you. You don't have a chance. Oh, they have another one. That's mean. I don't want to play against 2 people. I killed him almost. That's good. Yeah, no problem. No, war is war. It's totally fine, but I don't want to play 1v1s against legendary people that are, I mean, in SA and getting ganked by another person. I want to have a fair 1-on-1 against good people. Yeah. I actually would have killed if I did not had confusion there. I hate to this build. The only thing that kills this build is confusion, you know, in a 1-on-1. If you get confusion spiked when you have 5 condis or so, you can't cleanse them and you are dead. Because you spam so many skills, you die to it. So confusion is really annoying. This is the only thing that really kills this build consistently. Yeah. I mean, it's not... Don't get me wrong. Catalyst is really good. But if you don't know how to play it, then it might not feel like that. Yeah. So it's really important that you play the class that you enjoy. So if you feel like Catalyst is the way to go, try it. If you, after hours of playing it, you feel like it's worse and you don't have fun with it, swap back. You don't have to stick to something just because I told you so. Yeah. It's not something that you should do, for sure. So what do we have here? Oof, that was a lot of damage. The fadeaway kill. Nice, we got them. Oh, he will rest. Oh, not. He won't. I got him. Very nice. Oh, another challenger approaches. Oh, that's quite a few challenges, I have to be honest. War is war. Yeah, I know. It's always it's the same in the other way around. You know, if you win a 1-on-1 against an AFK player, that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a matchup that I don't like that much either, because it's a lot of Condi pressure, but they are playing a power build with Spear, so I'm not that sad. But if it's a Condi harp, it's actually potentially winning, because they have so much weakness application that's really annoying. But this matchup, I should win after some time. They have so much barrier, it's really annoying. I'm not sure if I can win this matchup, it takes forever. They have so much healing. And I don't have that much damage, at least a single target if they have enough heal. I mean, if I get through the first hit of the barrier, then maybe I can kill it, because they get more barrier at full life. But I don't see it happening there. Celestial as well. Looks really annoying. I don't know. Looks not like a 1-on-1 you want to take. This is why I don't like Celestial builds, because they can't kill each other oftentimes. It's just annoying. So I guess I will just disengage. I don't like this. Yeah. And I guess with that boring 101, I will probably end the stream. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for all the follows, and thanks a lot for the subs and for the support. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. We will be back tomorrow, and wish you a very nice evening, nice day tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for all the support. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And yeah, that's it from me today. See you tomorrow, I hope.